important game here at Football Park, particularly for the Dogs. In 6th position now, having been on the bottom of the ladder 2 weeks back. Hall down to Gallagher. The handball was a bit loose. Bubner came back for the Dogs and got the first kick for them. Kicked it up towards half forward, and there's Robertson. Way out in front of Rowan Hellier. The run's on. Through they go the centre now through Scott Lee. Roger Girdham, in fact, it was. Puts it out in front of the leading player in Fraser, but it's cut off.
Justin Scanlon, it is at half-back. He'll take the free kick. First one, or the mark, is well done. He's playing on the half-back line. Coming through centre half-back. A 15-metre penalty. Comes down towards half-forward. Spoiled away by Hannum. He had a great game last week on Paul Westham. See Girdham again in there to centre half-forward. But John Hall, he drops back and takes the mark.
Paul gets it over the top to the running Kelly. Kelly's handball is taken by Trigg. Trigg very quickly back to O'Neill. And the Dogs are in again. Cousins is at centre half forward. He punches away from Hall. That was effective. He's got the ball back again, but there was a push against a Norwood player, and it'll be taken by Craig Baum. Didn't have the best of games, we understand, last week, but he's been a good fullback for Norwood over the last couple of years. Well done by O'Neill. He finally got it out wide. Scott Lee it was who got the kick forward, but it's into that half-forward pocket area, or that half-forward area, which is the non-scoring side here at Football Park.
No score in the first couple of minutes. John Hall, his familiar role, dropping back in that defensive action, but we saw Michael O'Neill then with some good play across the centre, just defending for Central Districts. Richard Anderson down towards the wing. Van Dommel. Warhurst runs at the body, then the ball accidentally hits him, and he's going to get a free kick because the Central's player grabbing hold of that body as it hit him. Into full forward, Pearce coming out, spoiled away very well indeed. Players go to ground. McIntosh with some good body work at half forward. He's coming across to the centre half forward position. He sees Pearce dropping back. He's put it in his arms and he can't take the mark. Pike's in there. Payne. Hannum now. Lee. Central District's long to half forward. It's over the top. Kelly can't get back. He's making yards. Peter Johnson filled in very well last week. Apparently looks as though he's almost holding ball. Recovers well. Little give out. Kelly. Players on top of the ball. Rowan Hellier on the bottom of the pack. So Norwood just holding out. Very quick start to the game, Peter.
Yes, it is, Robert. And Central District have got a bit of momentum about them now. They got it last week, or the week before, in fact, against the Bays. And they're going on with it. The Scanlon handball, not too good. Trigg cut it off, but Scanlon got it back. Here's the player with all the run. Richard Anderson, or the kick, not a good one. Tom Warhurst gets a present of it. Turns around and boots a long ball in. But it's going to be cut off back there, and well done by Mark Hull. Hull's in the back pocket. Hannum's on his own. Hull goes out wide towards Lee, and Lee's got it out there in front of Anderson. Scott Lee has kicked it out. Did he run out before he kicked it? Yes, I think he did, and the umpire's going to bring it back for a throw in.
On the half-forward line, Scott Lee's been a very good rover for Central Districts. Very competitive player. O'Neill and Warhurst it'll be contesting this ruck throw in. Coming across Flintoff, the centreman. Chance for Anderson. No one able to take possession. Picked up and kicked away by David Buckley from the half-back line. He goes to centre half forward. Craig Brady. Free kick he's going to get in. The mark wasn't paid. But he was pulled off the ball at the last fraction. He's in the centre of the ground. Coming out towards the member stand half-forward flank. Johnson behind, just fisting the ball away. Does well. Hellier gets a chance to run at it, but he can't get a hand on the ball. Johnson from half-back. Norwood into attack. In short. Oh, that's a great take. Roger Girdham marking on centre wing.
Played very well last week too, in the second half in particular. He's had 2 kicks and a handball so far, Roger Girdham. Through goes O'Neill. Got the handball to Bubner. Bubner very quick. Got that one out. Scanlon tackled very well. Hannum picked up, put the ball to good position there to Trigg. Trigg's got it at right half forward. He's going to play on very quickly. He's aimed that right at the goal area, and he's just offline for the point. So that's the first score of today at the 4.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Central District's 1 point. Norwood yet to score. Craig Baum, Norwood full back to bring the ball in. Outer side. Scott Lee's getting over there quickly. Ace from behind, fisting it away. Hellier. Robertson knocks him off the ball. Anderson now for Norwood. He's been a great ball getter for the Redlegs. Magnificent kick down over half forward. William Hearn, though, too good in defence for Central Districts. Central's players working to receive, working well too. Trevor Rowe now. He's playing on the half-back line. A very quick line back there too. particularly the two flankers, Rowe and Bubner. High to half forward. Brady under the ball, taken off hands. Away go the Redlegs. Out wide and nearly out of bounds on the full. I missed it. Was that Anderson again kicked that? Very good movement out of defence.
He's just having a look at Trevor Rowe there, Robert. He's right alongside of Michael Aish. Now, I think Aish and Thomas are going to change at half forward. I don't know what Trevor Rowe will do. He may stay on Andrew Aish all day. In the back play there, Gallagher to Rowe and Hillier. Hillier goes up long to half forward. Payne will be out bodied there. Hannam read it well. He played very well last week against the Eagles, Brett Hannam. Good use of the ball into the centre of the ground. Krieg. Now Bubner. Bubner mishandled. He gave it back to Krieg. Krieg with that snappy little left footer puts it out wide to Fraser. Pretty indirect football, but here's a chance. Bubner makes a lead for it. He ran down from half back. Bubner's got it now at half forward, and that was well done by Bubner to create that area, that space to run into there at half forward.
It was excellent, particularly when he missed that ball off his chest. It would have dampened some confidence. He might have gone and hidden in a hole, but great to see Peter Bubner wanting to recover.
I think that's what it was, Robert, and have a look at that kick. Is that a superb kick, or isn't it? Straight through the centre. First goal of the Dogs, a great one to Peter Bubner. Central District 1-1, the Redlegs yet to score.
Well, Peter Bubner's a very quiet, unassuming young man, and one could perhaps put some of the loss of form early in the year to the fact that when things were down, he sort of just shrunk away and got a little bit despondent with himself. But on that occasion, when he missed that ball from Peter Krieg, it was great to see him run on down the ground to create an opportunity for the Bulldogs, and that's a fantastic kick for goal.
He's just having a look at the setup there. Norwood have got, they're playing their forward area a little bit differently. Payne's coming right down, but there's no doubt that Trevor Rowe is on Aish. There's a free kick given there to Krieg. Krieg short, cut off by Kelly. Kelly will take off and kick long to the open space. It was open, now it's not. Payne very slick to Roger Murdoch. Brilliant handball by Payne, that was brilliantly done. But only a point the result. Norwood a point, Central District 1-1.
I think Roger Gurdon is standing on Keith Thomas. I think they're playing man for man, it looks like, changing on the half-back line. The kick in from Botka. Grandstand side, Pike in front. But Bubner, is he going to strike some of that great form? Over the top to O'Neill. He's worked very hard in this early stage. Trevor Rowe now on rebound through centre wing. Got great pace, Trevor Rowe. Goes in short. Brady's there to receive. Don't think he's within distance. He's giving a few instructions. I think he'd like an extra metre or two. Flintoff running on. Brady with his second kicks high in the air of the square. Looking for Cousins. Coming in from the side. Jeffrey Robertson. Up he gets. Goal. 2 goals to Central District. First to Robertson there. 2-1. Norwood 1 point.
Well, there's no doubt this Bulldog side is a different side than it was earlier in the year, because all of those players who showed so much in the last 2 or 3 years are starting to come back into form. Robertson's one of them, and what a brilliant grab that was. He timed it to perfection, and he, along with players like Trigg, Krieg, Cousins and O'Neill, are really setting the Bulldogs up.
Well, we've seen Peter Bubner in great form at half-back. Will his form be good enough to get him into a state team? Because he's a great player. Ball dropping dead in the centre. Hall just brushing it out towards Pike. He just rides the bump. Bubner again getting in the road. He's certainly competitive this afternoon. Murdoch gets it back to Pike, and he's going to get a free kick. High tackle. Umpire letting the game flow in those close quarters. And finally, the free kick. Nice kick too into full forward. Big John Hall takes the mark. No, it's not. It's Ricky Pearce. Shows you how much weight John Hall's lost. One could compare him with Rick Pearce. They do look very much alike just looking at them across the ground. Different number though, number 51, Ricky Pearce. It's his first kick for the afternoon. Norwood needing a goal. Slight breeze from right to left, as always here at Football Park, and that is a beautiful kick. First goal to the Redlegs, first to Ricky Pearce, 2-1 to Centrals, 1-1 to the Redlegs.
Well, the last time that Ricky Pearce went for a ball, he was beautifully set up by McIntosh, who put it to him on a plate, and he dropped it. But on that occasion, he got out in front of Botka, and the big, strong hands of Ricky Pearce got hold of it. But what was even better than the mark was the kick. That was a brilliant kick. 2-1 the Dogs, Norwood 1-1.
Michael O'Neill for the Bulldogs, John Hall for Norwood. Just tapped away by Hall. Krieg couldn't get at it. Payne looks as though he'd been tackled a bit high there. David Payne roving this afternoon. Scanlon running on from half back. It's a good accurate handball. Nice prop by Scanlon, gets him into the centre line of the ground. Hine coming out from behind, he spoils away. Players not able to take possession. Anderson getting a wild handball towards Ace. Rose with him. Ace on the ground. Oh, nice pick up by Neil Hine, the big fellow bending. Warhurst now tapping it out wide. Keith Thomas, he just gets a wild handball. And it is Flintoff who rebounds to Trigg.
Very well done, Flintoff. Very quick disposal, and Trigg also playing well. Just the defence side of centre wing. His second kick now. He'll aim it at centre half forward. Brady's behind. He judged it beautifully, Brady. He was right behind Kelly, but he's a very good player. A long direct kick. There's Cousins on a lead. Balm with him. Balm did well. Had the ball, then lost it. Well done, Cousins. Jeff Robertson now kicks around the corner. Very close. Offline. There's the kick. He got the goal with it. Well done, the Dogs. The player there is Scott Lee. Kicked it off the ground and got a fine goal. The Dogs 3-1, Norwood 1-1.
Just shows you how competitive Scott Lee is, but that was a good kick by Jeff Robertson. And of course the handball from Richard Cousins was very, very good. Big Richard, he fell over on the first flight when he came to ground, but he managed to recover well enough to put his hand on the ball. Beautiful handball back to Robertson. Robertson into the square, and Scott Lee as competitive as ever.
Central and Norwood have played 51 times. The Dogs have won 22 of those to 27 by Norwood. Keith Thomas could only handball that away. Buckley, Van Dommel, right up to full forward again. Cousins in the middle of the pack. A big thump away there by Taylor. Robertson again. Oh, he's a clever player. Here's a chance, Craig Brady. He's in front, but he missed. Oh, bad miss there by the Dogs. He was beautifully set up, but he missed. 3-3 the Dogs, Norwood 1-1.
They're the sort of misses that cost teams matches. Beautiful kick out. Brady coming across, and it's his man that gets the rebound kick. Kelly. Craig Kelly, centre half back. 15 metres. Kicks to half forward. Warhurst on the lead. Still fairly wide, Norwood. They can't get into that goal kicking area yet. Here they come now with a chance. Payne coming across. Can't complete the mark. Recovers pretty well, but loses possession of the ball in the pack. Botka gets it out towards Buckley. He grabs a player. But he didn't have the ball. No free kick as Hearn takes it to Van Dommel. Van Dommel's got a player running for him on centre wing. David Flintoff. Flintoff's a half forward. Cousins coming out. But Peter Johnson is too good.
The Dogs look a lot better when they go forward. They're more direct. Johnson comes to the grandstand side. Pike got the ball now. The handball wasn't the best, but reasonably effective to Hellier. Hellier misses Gallagher initially, but Gallagher got out of it. A long handball now to Johnson. Johnson decides to have a kick, which is a wise thing to do. A bad bounce there. Favours eventually Buckley. Girdham. Hearn. Hearn's grubber finds Trigg. Trigg now keeps it on grandstand side. Fraser. A big chance if he can keep it in, but he can't. We'll see a throw in left forward flank.
Central's 3-2-20, Norwood 1-1-7. 13 points to difference. Centrals have started off very well again this afternoon. Last week it was big Richard Cousins up forward that set them alight. Today it's just their teamwork. It's very, very good indeed. Brady coming from behind Hall, but he's too good. He gets it to Kelly. Kelly towards Bubner. Oh, and that's a very, very strong take. Take of a man who's found a bit of confidence. Goes across the ground, Richard Cousins, Jeff Robertson. Robertson it is that takes the mark. He's a fair way out, but he's within his kicking distance. His third kick. Craig Brady just missed a goal a few moments ago. Made it 3-2 instead of 4-1. So Jeff Robertson needs to kick this. Difficult goal, though it is. High in the air, and it's got distance and accuracy. Jeff Robertson kicks his second goal. Central 4-2, Norwood 1-1.
Well, what a great advantage it is to have an attacking half-back like Peter Bubner, who's coming down, and he's hurting Norwood. He's certainly hurting Jamie Pike. I tell you what, there's another player that's hurting Norwood too, and that's Jeff Robertson, because he's just so unorthodox that he's pretty hard to stand when he's on form. That was a good mark and a good kick.
Michael O'Neill and John Hall. Michael O'Neill's been in very good form for the Dogs, but that's a good tap down by Hall. Payne gets it across to McIntosh. He's too slow. Flintoff fumbles though. Thomas gets a free kick, fell over in front and brought a player over the top of him. I'm always a bit doubtful about that free kick. The umpire says in the back, Thomas directly to the square. High and up high, and he's taken the mark. There's no reason why Norwood shouldn't feel very confident to go into attack directly at the goal square, particularly with big Hine up there, and then when Hall's resting, likewise. And of course, they've got Ricky Pearce as well. So Neil Hine, a very skilled footballer, 30 metres from goal. Not a confident kick, though. Just stabbed at that one, didn't get the timing at all. So Norwood moved to 1-2, Central's 4-2.
Could be a bit of a problem for the Dogs too, because Ricky Pearce has been instructed to lead hard and fast. And of course, when he does, creates a vacuum behind him, and you've got Hall and Hine against Hull, and Hull hasn't got the height. Comes out now to Hull. Hull dummies around the player, then kicks long to the open space. Big space there, in fact. Krieg with a brilliant one-hand take. A chance for Scott Lee. He's brought it right around to Cousins. Great football, the Dogs. Cousins directly in front of goal, 5 metres out. And what a super take that was by Krieg, and the movement from Scott Lee, who really is a hard worker. Now Richard Cousins, his first goal. The Dogs 5-2, Norwood 1-2.
What an important movement that was out of defence by Mark Hull. Created the whole game. A lot of players would have gone for a short pass as players led towards him, but he chose to kick to the space over the top of half forward, and he gave the opportunity for Peter Krieg to come into that space, where he effected a very, very good take, then into the Scott Lee, and Scott Lee with a well-controlled kick, just aimed at the goal square, and Richard Cousins recovering back there, took the mark and completed the goal, his first for the afternoon. So Central's a 5-2, Norwood 1-2, 17 and a half minutes into the first quarter.
Great start by the Dogs. They'd love every minute of it out there at the moment. Of course, football goes for 4 quarters. Plenty of players there in the centre, and the umpire will have to bounce it again. But a good start to the Dogs, as I've mentioned. Scott Lee, Bubner and Cousins with 1 each. Jeff Robertson with 2. For Norwood, Ricky Pearce has kicked their solitary goal. O'Neill got the tap away. Trigg furthered it. Rowe kicks into that vacant half-forward area, which is not the goal-scoring side. The Dogs have enjoyed going down that goal-scoring corridor so far this quarter, and it wouldn't really do them well to get it caught up on that outer side of the ground. O'Neill and Hine in ruck. Plenty of body work in there, but it was O'Neill who got the tap away. Taylor in there. The handball came out. No player can get it clear, and I think umpire Kinnear might come in and bounce that one.
Interesting seeing Michael Taylor then running into his own teammate, fighting for a ball. O'Neill, Hine just tapping it down towards Anderson. He can't get it. Scott Lee it is that knocks a long handball forward. Krieg runs to the ball. He misses it. Taylor blocking up well. Holds ground for the Redlegs. Ball still in play. Umpire's letting it go. Krieg it is that kicks it high in the air towards Cousins and Baum. Coming back Kelly. Fraser takes the crumb on his wrong foot. Peter Krieg props back onto the left, but out of bounds, just next to the left-hand goal post. Central's a 5-2, Norwood 1-2, 24 points the difference. Cousins and Hine, Baum in front. Cousins in quickly, tapped away. Brady coming in, needs a free goal, hit the post. 5-3 to Central's, Norwood 1-2.
Very good work there by Craig Brady. He didn't do much wrong. It was just about the right kick. Baum will think about grandstand side, but then elects to go to the other side to the running Hine. O'Neill is just behind that player. Hine is good mark. O'Neill conceding height there, and also perhaps some mobility as Hine goes long for Warhurst. Hannum over the top. Chance for Norwood to run through, but they haven't got bodies up with the ball. Gallagher finally, and he fell over. And a chance now for Buckley as he got rid of it to the line, and we'll see a throw in that position there. Left half forward flank for Norwood. Good start to the Dogs. They're playing with confidence. Norwood not so. They're down in a few areas. They're getting nothing out of the middle. Oh, big swing away there. O'Neill to Trigg. Trigg goes up forward now to Krieg into the open space. Krieg will centre this ball, no doubt about that. 5th kick to Krieg. Cousins. And punching away is Hine. Perhaps thought that it may have been perhaps more centred than that. although Cousins may have led into the pocket rather than out from goal. Rowe still covering Aish like a glove. Hine over the top. Aish with a kick away that was smothered. Came off a body and rolls out of bounds.
Michael O'Neill is in very good form for Central District. He's just resting back across the half-back line at the moment. It was a magnificent knock a moment ago to Stephen Trigg. He's got the ball up there. It's a matter now whether the forwards can finish the play off. Hine in there. Everybody's in there. Scanlon's going to take the kick away. Kicks to half forward. That's where O'Neill's lurking. And that's where he takes the mark. Of course, his opponent, big number 5 for Norwood, Neil Hine, he's up the other end of the ground. That kick's a bit loose. Gives Bubner the opportunity now. Handball over the top is a bit loose. Flintoff, though, he's got the run of it. Nice take and turn. He's going to be caught for holding the ball. Trying to barge the pack. A little bit unfortunate. But a bad handball then by Peter Bubner put him into a bit of strife. Craig Kelly, 4th kick. Jamie Pike on centre wing. It's amazing how the ball comes back to your opponent. It was Bubner that made the mistake. It's his opponent that got the kick on the way back. Richard Anderson, still very wide, the Redlegs. High to half forward. O'Neill's back there again, just dropping back into defence. Ball away well by Warhurst. Girdham, who's resting on the half-back line. He gets it to Aish. Warhurst, Krieg's in there. Free kick to Peter Krieg for in the back.
Yes, the umpire had to play that free kick to be consistent. Krieg, not a lot of distance with the kick. Put it up to half centre wing, and a good mark to Fraser. Fraser came down a long way from forward pocket for that. Furthers it. Robertson comes across. Hine was the only one that jumped. Brady doing hard work, and the umpire says that's a free kick for a push.
It's interesting to know whether you should leave that ruckman loose across half-back, because both O'Neill and number 5, Hine, are taking control of the game.
Well, great kick by Brady. Cousins off hands nearly. Scott Lee would have been a brilliant take had he affected it. He's under the ball now. He taps it out, but there's no one there for the Dogs. Richard Anderson. Taylor. Loose handball again. Craig Kelly makes amends, though. Caught one on delivery, and he'll get a free kick down the field. There's a bit of elbow on that. And the free kick will go to David Payne. Second rover. The Pearce lead is on. He's in front. The punch away comes from Botka. On the ground waiting for it, Keith Thomas. He has to go for broke. And that's how it ended up, because Brett Hannum marked it well and kicked it out to Rene Van Dommel.
Van Dommel to Krieg. Krieg on his leg. Oops, he's gone underneath. He was running fast. He didn't see the player coming in. Van Dommel almost kicking in danger, but he's gone right on with the job. Gets it to half forward to Trigg. He's caught. Flies away from him and Gallagher. Brings it back under his body. Players holding on to him, looking for the free for holding the ball. Central's after it best. Van Dommel to Robertson to Rowe. He's got a chance now. He's left Ace behind. Can he kick the goal? No, he can't. Just offline. Central 5-4. Norwood 1-2.
And Trevor Rowe, there he is. He's again doing that job on Michael Aish. It's well known that Michael Aish, like a lot of players, finds it very hard to play well against a tag. But Trevor Rowe not only tags well, he makes the position a dominant one. It's taken out now against Hellier. Well done, Jeff Robertson. Well, if the Dogs can cut off that source of supply, they've got a good chance of winning this game. Brady went for the backhand. Rowe again. The handball to Brady. Again to Flintoff. They're more desperate, the Dogs. Clearly more desperate. Fraser couldn't mark it. That's a free, not a free. Yes, a free. Finally a free kick. When is a free, not a free? Craig Baum got it finally for a trip. Superb disposal of the ball, generally, Craig Baum. Generally, that is. Oh, silly work by Fraser. That's quite extraordinary, because he just completely and utterly gave up on that ball, Robert.
He certainly did. Just took his eye off it. It would have paid him to keep his eye on the flight, because if he just put his hand in front of Peter Johnson's face, he might have just hit the ball anyway. Johnson out wide. Hanneman couldn't take possession. Anderson coming underneath him. Very good tackle by Brett Hannum. The umpire's going to bounce it, judging that Richard Anderson had his arms held and it just fell out. He's going to bounce the ball. Neil Hine deciding to come up from half-back on this occasion. Up the centre wing. O'Neill coming in. Hine backwards. It's gone past Gallagher to Trigg. Trigg's caught. Too high. He'll take the free kick. Centre wing.
An untidy tackle by McIntosh. Trevor Rowe. Hine cuts him off, or tries to. Trevor Rowe, though, very competitive. Bubner now. He's a superb kick of the football generally. That one's dropping short. Cousins can't mark it. Another chance here for Scott Lee. He's rowed beautifully today. He's kicked his second goal with his fifth kick. The Dogs love that one. 6-4 to 1-2 now on Sevens' big lead.
Peter Bubner had the opportunity then, running into the open goal. He didn't let his leg go on that occasion. He tried to steer it just as Neil Hine had done earlier this quarter up at full forward. And as a result, he got no timing into the kick, no lift on the ball whatsoever. Richard Cousins contested well, 2-on-1. Michael Taylor coming in, but Scott Lee took the crumb and second.
The Redlegs suffering from a lack of pace across that outer defence line. We're into time on now, and it's been a good quarter for the Dogs. McIntosh to Gallagher was brilliant. Pearce on a lead. He couldn't mark the ball. Well done, Botka. He got back on it to Hannum. Hannum again to the running Girdham. The Girdham kick wasn't a bad one, actually. He didn't have anywhere else to go. Would have been sheer folly to give it to Gallagher. Could have gone over him, perhaps, but he's aimed for the line. It's right in front of the scoreboard. Left half forward flank for Norwood. Hall and O'Neill. Who's holding on to who in there? Hall got it out. McIntosh caught. He suffers from a lack of pace on this ground. Flintoff. A chance, Warhurst. The handball effective to Payne. Payne smothered. Well done. Good defence by the Dogs. I tell you what, they're in trouble. Bubner. Murdoch now. That was a good take. Back onto that left foot. He floats it in. Hull gets back on it. Gets one hand to the ball. Richard Anderson. I tell you what, there's a chance here, Norwood. McIntosh. Can he kick a goal? He can't. He can kick a point, though. Norwood 1-3. The Dogs 6-4.
Norwood not doing too much. Gary McIntosh. It's a bit like a broken down racehorse. He's running on the spot. There's no doubt that ankle's not good. Really having trouble pushing across there to get back to the centre on David Flintoff. Roger Murdoch's done a couple of nice things at half forward, a couple of opportunities. He hasn't converted yet, though. Coming out there, Michael O'Neill is going to get a free kick for around the neck. He almost made the mark. He was out in front of Neil Hine. Reversed the procedure from the other end of the ground when Neil Hine made a good lead and took the mark ahead of Michael O'Neill. Third kick for O'Neill. Done some very good work early. A lot of Norwood players back in the defence here. It's gone for a long kick up towards Jeff Robertson. Hine from behind. It's off hands to McIntosh. His handball's ineffective, but Norwood pick up the crumb through David Payne. Payne over half forward now. Pearce coming out. He can't take it. Botka. Away they go through Buckley. Buckley to Krieg. Through the centre of the ground. Peter Krieg on his own. He'll run all the way if he wants to. Just a matter of kicking it straight, I'd say. Short into half forward, Craig Brady. So Central Districts taking advantage of that play then. Krieg getting away from David Payne, running across from centre half forward very quickly when he saw his teammate take possession in defence. Brady, 45 metres, seventh kick. High in the air, it's a floater out to the right. Not the distance, his aiming's off. 6 goals, 5 to Centrals. Norwood 1-3.
He's a very good competitor, Craig Brady. A very good player for the Dogs. He's kicked 3 points. One of them was a set-up goal, which he couldn't kick. Payne couldn't mark the ball out there. Gee, it's Flintoff against 3 players, and he's going to get a free kick. If one can beat 3, the Redlegs have got trouble. And have a look at the pass to Brady. Oh, Brady's got his chance for his 4th goal now. And this is not an easy one. He's on that right-hand side where he's got the wind blowing from his left to right. Very difficult to score a goal from that spot. No, the wind takes it. Freddie Phillips used to have trouble with that one. I think everyone has. The Dogs 6-6, Norwood 1-3.
4 points to Craig Brady. A bit cross with himself at this stage. Neil Baum. Out towards Johnson and Pike. Pike it is in front. Just caressing it into his arms very well. Siren blows quarter time here at Football Park. The Bulldogs off to a great start. 6-6-42, leading the Redlegs 1-3-9. Central Districts had a very, very good first quarter. They out-generaled Norwood 6-6 to 1-3. They've got a Norwood free kick early in this quarter, but they had 35 handballs to 28, 62 kicks to 39, 29 marks to 13. Norwood into half forward. Ricky Pearce picks it up. He gets it across to Warhurst. Warhurst quickly to Hine. Now Norwood with an opportunity. Goes wide to Taylor. Taylor high in the air. It's a good kick by the Norwood veteran. His first goal. So Norwood coming back quickly. They're 2-3 now. Central's 6-6.
Well, they certainly needed that. Michael Taylor had the shot at goal, and we'll try and pick up exactly where he's playing.
He's at half forward, Peter. They put Roger Murdoch in the back pocket.
You're right, thank you, Robert. We noticed in the first quarter that the Dogs had a dominant centre line with Trigg, Flintoff and Bubner. Bubner playing on centre wing. Girdham is standing Thomas at half forward, but the Dogs still looking good.
John Hall and Michael O'Neill. O'Neill's been doing a lot of hard work. Pike takes it, kicks it straight into Scott Lee, who's been in everything. Flintoff had a good game in the centre of the ground on McIntosh. Lee running on. He's a great competitor. Brady gets it back to Lee. Handball pretty awkward, but he's equal to the occasion, and he taps it forward, but he's going to get a free kick. High tackle against Jamie Pike. It's a marvellous worker, Scott Lee. Real rover. His sixth kick coming up. He's wide on the outer side, half forward flank. High kick in towards centre half forward. Player in front there, Craig Kelly, and he takes the mark.
Kelly was killed by Brady in the first quarter. Brady kicking 4 points. And there is the best centre wingman on the ground, Bubner. He really set the Dogs up in that first quarter. This is his sixth kick. Kicked a brilliant goal when he ran into the open space at left half forward flank early. Hall will mark that. They certainly do play that defensive role well. That's got to be play on. Hall will have to get rid of it now. Craig Kelly kicks out of defence. Bubner has got the sit on this. Up over the top he goes, as easy as you like, and he certainly can mark a ball. He's taken 5 big marks, Bubner. Tries to set it up now for Jeff Robertson. Hellier can't spoil him. Robertson is a very tall player, and he's been hurt. He's got a bad ankle out of that one. He's in a lot of trouble. Ooh, very, very proppy. I would not be surprised if he comes straight off. And that would be a big loss to the Dogs, a very big loss. He's had to give the ball away. As Captain Van Dommel will take the kick. He's in a lot of pain. He's really hurt that ankle. Hellier gets back on it now, couldn't mark the ball. Kicking out of defence, Balm, but he's kicked straight to the opposition. Van Dommel. Look for a 15-metre. Cousins leads. There's no height back there. He's got to go short. He had no option. Cousins really should have stayed back on that one because there's no other height down there. Oh, short again. Brady. Hellier forgot to pick it up. McIntosh now. Not moving with a lot of pace, but he comes away. Kicks long to half forward. Taylor. No pace at all, but he managed to get the handball out. Clever work, Michael Taylor. The running player, David Payne, sets it up from half forward, but he won't kick a goal with that one. Drops right at the base of the post and goes through for a point.
Michael Taylor, he looks a lot better up on that half forward line. But Jeff Robertson, all sorts of strife. Rowan Hellier sitting on top of him after he marked the ball. And now he's hurt his ankle. He has to come off. That's a bad loss. He kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. A kick from Mark Botker out towards centre wing. And looking for Bubner. He's got the height to mark those kickoffs. And Central Districts have forced it out of bounds on Norwood's half forward line. O'Neill and Hall contesting the ruck. Ball makes front position. O'Neill from behind. Hall just taps it down to Pike. He comes across with his left foot. His unnatural one. Big Neil Hine is falling over as he takes the mark 20 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle. Very mobile player, Neil Hine. Very nice knockdown then by the red leg ruckman, John Hall. Third kick for Neil Hine. Norwood going for their third goal. The kick is accurate through the centre. Neil Hine's first goal. Norwood 3-4, Central's 6-6.
Well, they're plugging away Norwood after the Michael Taylor goal early in the quarter. And a good lead, good mark, good goal to Neil Hine. That is a sad loss for the Dogs. Kicked 2 goals in the first quarter, played brilliantly last week. He was going to play well again today, you could see that, but he's gone straight down into the change rooms, and I'd say that looks like a pretty serious ankle injury to me.
Stephen Nolan onto the ground for Central Districts. He was originally named on centre wing. They changed their side around. They put Mark Hull back into defence and Bubner up onto the wing on Pike. Payne in again, quickly. Scanlon to Thomas. Norwood starting to move it a bit now. A bit of a lift in tempo. The full forward area. And there's Hine again. That movement through the centre is the type of movement that gives forwards an opportunity, one out. And that's all Neil Hine needs. He's far too tall for Mark Hull. If they can get it in there for him, his fourth mark. He's had two of them in that forward line. In fact, I think he's had three of them in the forward line. One on a kick out from full-back. 20 metres out, straight in front. He's kicked accurately. Very skilled player. His second goal this quarter and his second all told. 4-4 to Norwood, Central 6-6.
The Redlegs ran that away from centre very well. Keith Thomas involved. The kick was spot on. And I like the way that Hine moved then. He was behind, then he had a very late shift to the front of the pack and took a fine mark, and the kick was very good too. Norwood 4-4, the Dogs 6-6, and Norwood taking that initial momentum off the Dogs now.
Bit happening in the centre. Umpire Kinnear speaking to McIntosh and his opponent, Scott Lee, is in there with him at the moment. Flintoff's out of the centre, Rose in there. Hall gets the knock again. Gurdon spoils, Flintoff takes it away, goes in towards the half-forward line towards Krieg and Murdoch. Murdoch pushing in the back with both hands, the umpire not even aware that it happened. Murdoch following the ball well low, good competition, he's left it behind, ball still in play. Krieg coming in, Flintoff, back to Nolan. Nolan had an opportunity to handball, should have been the first instant. Trigg. Oh, he's tackled high, umpire says play on, he played a couple of frees like that earlier. Gallagher gets it to Hall, to Thomas. Norwood now out of defence to half forward or centre wing. It's the half forward Taylor going for it. Out of bounds. Very competitive bit of play there. Norwood really starting to lift their tempo.
Stephen Trigg there, a bit unlucky not to be free kicked. If you take notice of what the umpires did in the first quarter, he was lay down Mazaire for one. Flintoff, gee, that was brilliantly read. Brady, good work by Craig Kelly to get there. Peter Krieg, very quick, very slick. Now Richard Cousins out in front of Craig Baum. He overplayed that one a bit. Brady comes in, falls over. Didn't sort of help the situation too much then. Oh, not a bad effort in front by Gurdon. Flintoff very quick, but he didn't look. Thomas looked. McIntosh kicks as long as he can. Hines on a lead. Hull there too. Anderson stayed down. Got out of trouble, but then into trouble, holding the ball. The free kick will go to Bunga Hearn. Bill, Bunga, William. Wobbles one out of defence. That'll go straight to John Hall. Trigg in front, off hands Gallagher. Read it well. Kicks long to centre half forward. Hull late, but the man in front was Buckley.
Very well let by Mark Hull then. He's run on to receive too. Very good football. Sits for him. Mark Hull on the outer side. He's got Fraser at half forward. Kicks long and strong to him. Peter Johnson a bit slow getting the umpire calling play on. Johnson runs over the top of Fraser. Fraser fighting hard. Pike's up there, lending a hand for the Redlegs. Johnson coming in. And there'll be a free. No, there won't be a free bounce up for the umpire. He's going to bounce it between half forward and centre wing for Central Districts. Looking to get into that forward line. Craig Brady and Richard Cousins a bit inclined to fall over when the ball's on the ground, a bit on recovery. It's giving Norwood a few opportunities to get it out of defence. John Hall under a bit of pressure there, has kicked it out of bounds on the full.
John Hall racing back into defence. He always does that. Being followed by Richard Anderson. So Norwood starting to work a bit. They'd need to. Trailing by 14 points, but looking much better. Van Dommel goes long. Cousins sandwiched. Couldn't possibly mark that. Baum from behind. Aish got rid of it very quickly. Krieg fighting hard for the ball, but there will be a bounce at left half forward flank. The game has just slowed down just a little bit. Those Bulldog forwards who were so nippy in the first quarter are making a couple of errors. Ball got very high. He left-handed it towards Aish. He's very close to the line. In fact, it has gone over and we'll see a throw in as Cowboy Neil has a chat to somebody.
Norwood more competitive now. The game stalemated a little bit. Opportunity is for Central through Trevor Rowe. He's on Michael Aish. Kicks around his body, but he's out of bounds when he kicked the ball. So there'll be a throw in a bit further towards the Central goal. About 35 metres around. Hall and Cousins. Barman is from behind, though, who comes in late and takes the knock. Out quickly is Krieg. He's been in everything, played very well as a rover. Flintoff. Free kick, though. You can see that. Justin Scanlon is going to take that free. High tackle. Fourth kick for Scanlon. Long horde of Central District's players there, and Bubner just floated through the air. Didn't need any help to get up that high. He goes across to Trigg. Gallagher interferes and grabs a leg. It was well done by Gallagher, actually, because I think if he hadn't, he would have gone. Triggy not quite making back behind the mark then before he played on. Michael O'Neill was keen to do a bit of work for him. Hall's in the square. Cousins leading this time. Over the top. And just dropping on the chest of Scott Lee. 40 metres from goal. He's played a great game up in that forward pocket and on the ball as well. It's his sixth kick. He's kicked 2 goals. He was cutting right away, that ball. Long way from right to left. So Central 6 goals 7 now, leading Norwood 4-4.
The Dogs need a couple of goals to steal that momentum back. As Craig Barham comes to grandstand side, Jamie Pike's under that ball, made good position and he wouldn't be bodied out of it. Tried the handball, finally it got to Payne. Gallagher's running backwards, now forwards. He gave it to Warhurst. Taylor ran under the ball. Neil Hine very mobile, back to Taylor. Taylor sets it up from 45 metres out and misses. There was some good work there by Norwood as they ran it right up on grandstand side.
Yes, Norwood have made a couple of changes, putting Taylor to half forward. They've tried to relieve the tag a little bit. The system that Central had going earlier with Girdham on Keith Thomas and Rowan Aish, they've broken that up a little bit. Taylor going up onto the half forward line and Murdoch to half back. Flintoff gets the ball across to Hull. Made a good game in defence at the moment. Goes long into the centre of the ground. Girdham leading with McIntosh. Butler coming in too late. Taken away by Plate. Hall can't control the ball. Quick handball out by Krieg. Doesn't find the body of Flintoff. Ball just doing nothing much. Krieg again to half forward. Brady over his head. Gallagher coming back quickly in defence for the Redlegs. He's caught, but he's too good. Shrugs the tackle. Goes out wide to Scanlon.
Scanlon took the mark. He wants to give it on to Johnson, but Buckley won't let him. Scanlon now to centre half forward. Hannam and Warhurst. Warhurst thumped it out, but Krieg picked it up, roving very well. Back to the centre of the ground. Murdoch flew, but didn't mark the ball. Gallagher playing well. Scanlon. Murdoch again. Good handball, Scanlon. Murdoch tries to set it up for Pearce. Pearce runs into the open space, completely misses the ball, but he got a push. He was clearly pushed by Botka, so Pearce has another chance. And he'd be one of few players that you'd back in from that spot, simply because his kick is so strong. The difficult wind conditions don't seem to bother him. It's his second kick. What a fantastic kick that is. He's only kicked the ball twice, but they've both been brilliant kicks. Norwood 5-5, the Dogs 6-7.
Well, Central District can't penetrate that half-back line of the Redlegs at the moment, or through that area. John Hall moving back in there. They're causing a lot of strife in doing so. The defensive action of the Redlegs and the Ruckman and Ruck Rovers getting back in there. Central have tried to go in a bit shorter, but it hasn't helped them. And now we see Murdoch getting up to the centre and rebounding for the Redlegs to give Pearce that opportunity.
Well, not much in it now. In fact, only 8 points. The Dogs have only scored a point since the break. O'Neill got his hand to it. Anderson had it and gave it away. He appeared to want to bounce that ball and hope it came back to him, but football's a funny shape. Hearn's kick does nothing but give the advantage to Norwood. Jamie Pike, very cool, set it up, good mark Aish. First time really that Michael Aish has put himself in a position to be productive. In fact, this will be only his second kick. Trevor Rowe is the tag. Michael Aish a chance to boot a goal. Will do wonders for his confidence. He got under the ball, but it's coming back. It's offline though. A point to Michael Aish. And Norwood keep chipping away now. 5-6 to the Dogs, 6-7 on 7's big lead.
O'Neill working in short in defence. Hall coming up to stand him on the kick out. Norwood want to play man for man. And that's how it is all over the ground at the moment. Players making leads. Botka long to the member stand half-back flank. High in the air. Coming through very quickly. Looked like Flintoff in there, but it wasn't him. Not sure it was Van Dommel. Same black hair. There'll be a bounce. Half back for the Bulldogs. O'Neill and Hine. Hine just tapping around, well read by Flintoff off hands. He gets it to half forward, Nolan and Hellier. Gurdham, thought he might have kicked it off the ground, but he did that well, read it very well. Gives it to Krieg, he's run on magnificently all day. He goes in short. I think he tried to kick it further than that and couldn't. Murdoch now with an opportunity for Norwood.
He avoided his opposition well, and here's a big setup now. Scanlon has got a big space to move in. Takes his time, tries to pull it around to centre half forward, but it wasn't a good kick. And Buckley, as easy as you like, marks it in the back pocket. He may come across to O'Neill, but he's elected not to. Trigg is pointing which way to go. Trigg's the tallest player out there. Scanlon couldn't take it off him. Flintoff, a very clever player, playing well. Kicks it up to half forward. Fraser. Scott Lee, in fact it was, used the right boot. Cousins couldn't mark the ball. Here's a go now. Michael Taylor. Taylor, very cool. Just found Scanlon. Only just. Scanlon had to put the hand up and it stuck. Taylor now gets it back. Having a run on the ball now, Taylor. Centre half back. A chance for Hearn. He should have marked it but didn't. Hull or Bubner? Who's going to pick it up? Hull does. Buckley, in fact, it was. Buckley had it taken off him. Now Hearn fell over. Plenty of players there and the umpire will bounce it.
Central a little bit hesitant there. Buckley had to take that ball. He was first there. He didn't know who was coming behind. He tried to break clear very quickly. He wasn't able to do so. Norwood pretty competitive now. A bit better than their first quarter. Great knock by O'Neill. He's been a good player. Gurdham over the top to Trigg. Trigg goes back to Hull. All Norwood players back here in defence. I think they're better off with their kick out there. There were 4 Norwood players back on their own across half back. So Central's in disarray across half forward at the moment. The loss of Jeff Robertson's being felt. He can provide an opportunity at height. He can compete against any opponent. Hellier, long, horde of players. Anderson gets a handball across to Keith Thomas. Props, goes back in towards centre half forward. Ace leading, Rowe coming out, but Ace is too good. It's a great mark. I think Rowe summed that up and thought that Ace wouldn't be tall enough to mark over the top. You never give a champion half an inch. Took a mile in. The goal is important for the Redlegs. Puts them right in touch. His kick's pretty awkward. Stabbed at that. Missed the timing altogether. 5-7 now the Redlegs. Central 6-7.
Gee, that's twice now that Michael Ace has missed when he may have scored. Botke to kick off. Comes to grandstand side again. He gets plenty of distance. Mark Botke with those kicks. Off hands Scanlon. McIntosh, haven't seen him for a while. Holds onto the ball for a long time. Gives it to Taylor. Taylor left boot. Won't kick a goal with it. Comes off hands, off Buckley's hands. And we see another point. So Norwood now 5-8 to the Dogs 6-7.
That ball carried some power from Michael Taylor then. Looked as though he's in a bit of trouble, but he kicked it very, very hard. The ball's got a big white flicky bit on it. I don't know what that is, a bit of loose cloth on it there or something. Looks like it burst its seam. Oh, it's a white mark off the goal probably, or a line somewhere. It's funny, a red and white football out of bounds between half forward and the forward pocket for the Redlegs. O'Neill and Hine will be. O'Neill getting in front early. Hine from behind just taps it towards the boundary line. Lee can't take possession. Handball by Pearce to Bubner. He just throws it away fairly quickly. Plenty of players out there. No one able to take possession. You can all decide what's happening. David Payne, he wants a free kick for holding the ball. He can't understand why the umpire won't give it to him. He didn't jump on top of the player and give a free kick for in the back. So we'll have another bounce down. Fairly competitive bit of play at the moment. O'Neill just coming in underneath. Now an opportunity for Central Districts. Flintoff comes through the centre of the ground. He's got Gurdham in there. Gurdham's long and strong to half forward. Fraser gives a free kick away, and that's a very careless one.
Well, he's given 2 away now that have both been careless. Both to Johnson. Johnson to Pike. Pike now to the running Scanlon. Scanlon through half forward now. Tries to set it up for the half forward line. Keith Thomas in front. He takes the mark. Hasn't been a good quarter for the Dogs. There seems to be no reason why they've slowed down. I don't think that Norwood have really geared up that much. But the Dogs have, since losing Robertson, just haven't Hasn't really played that well. 6 kicks, Keith Thomas. Short to Anderson. Anderson, a very quick player. Dropped into that vacant centre-half forward spot then, and he's got the chance. A much talked about young player, Richard Anderson. This will be his 7th kick. It's not a bad kick. That's a goal. Anderson has just kicked his first goal. Norwood are in front now for the first time today. 6-8 to the Dogs, 6-7.
Norwood have certainly battled their way to the front. They've lifted up their tempo no end, particularly across the centre of the ground and across half-back, where in the first quarter they were defeated easily. And on that occasion, it was Richard Anderson that received a kick from Keith Thomas. Peter Krieg just back a little bit. Thomas leading out very quickly. I think it was Peter Krieg. It was either he or William Hearn. I'd hate to blame either one. But the lead was on. It was a very good pass, and Thomas has managed to score.
O'Neill must be getting a little bit tired now. Hine got the bounce. Got the benefit of a good bounce. Flintoff again. Puts it out in front of Fraser. That was superbly put. Fraser gets up and takes off. He got up very quickly. He's going to run into an open goal if he's got enough. In fact, he has. Or did they ever need that one? Fraser's first. A brilliant kick from Flintoff. Norwood 6-8. The Dogs 7-7 on 7's big lead.
Well, 22 minutes into the quarter before Central Districts could score their first goal after having kicked 6 goals, 6 in the first. They've only kicked 1 goal, 1 in the first 22 minutes of the second quarter. But on that occasion, Robert Fraser getting in front of his opponent, Peter Johnson, and then when he fell over, taking off, and that was a very good kick for goal.
O'Neill and Hine. Past 20 minutes now. Through goes Josh, gets caught again. Keith Thomas concedes ground. Rowan Hellier just couldn't handle that ball at all then, Rowan Hellier. He didn't know what to do when the body came at him. And the free kick will have to go back to Neil Hine for interference. Plus 15. Neil Hine, a good player. Taylor on his own, he'll get that. 5 kicks Hine. Taylor as easy as you like. The running player Hellier. He's made up some ground, but again the kick not good enough. In goes Pearce. Shovels it back to Hellier. Again, a quick kick away. Or the man in front, Jamie Pike. Bubner forgot to spoil. He knew it. As soon as the mark was taken, I think he looked down on the ground and thought to himself, wow, how about a spoil? 5th kick to Jamie Pike. Good solid looking kick too, dead centre. First goal, Jamie Pike. The Redlegs back in front. 7-8 to the Dogs, 7-7 on 7's big lead.
6 goals to the Redlegs this quarter. Jamie Pike then just stretching from the front spot. I think Peter Bubner might have been fooled a little bit. I think he underestimated the fact that Jamie Pike had that much stretch. He thought he could just jump up over the top, as he's done on a couple of occasions today. But Jamie Pike plays obviously very tall, as we say. Took that mark well indeed.
And the Dogs get another one before the break. Hine easily then against O'Neill. O'Neill got it on the rebound. Pretty cool then O'Neill as he belted that one up to the half forward area, or deeper in fact, but a good mark by Barham. Well judged. You can see 4 Norwood players out here, and one can't blame him for aiming it in that direction. Hine, Scanlon, McIntosh will be next. Or will he? No. A poor kick from Scanlon. McIntosh was on his own for a long time before Trigg cut it off. And Trigg did well then. I think he might use Girdham. Mad if he doesn't. Girdham's at centre wing. Girdham with low trajectory, kicked it straight out on the full for Gallagher. Gallagher's had a good quarter. 4 kicks. Payne, just the defence side of centre wing. Payne across the ground to Hine. Gee, he's a mobile big man, Hine. Kelly up from centre half back, kicks long. A chance now for Warhurst in front. Big pack of players, off hands it comes. McIntosh runs through half forward. Can he get through? I doubt it very much. The handball smothered. Flintoff back there did good work. Now Buckley. Buckley will use the left boot, and a good pass out there to Van Dommel. Van Dommel will play it on. Away goes O'Neill. The big chap's got a bit of pace. I don't think Hine can catch him. He's bounced twice. This is his 6th kick. It's a wobbly old affair. Barham as easy as you like. Gobbles it up, and he'll clear for the Redlegs.
Bubner's on his own back on centre wing. Well held onto by Barham. He just gave an opportunity for Anderson to make some ground out there to give him a lead. Payne comes in on the second run. Fraser takes possession of it. He gets it back towards Buckley. And it's Buckley that knocks it out of bounds on centre wing. seen some good movement of big players here. Hine, O'Neill, both with an opportunity. O'Neill's kick not good a moment ago. Hine from the front spot. Long handball forward to Payne. Quickly into the half-forward line. Taylor and Hearn. Hearn running it out of bounds again. So Norwood 7-8, Central 7-7. 1 point in it. We're into time on in the second quarter. Been a very close game. In this quarter in particular. Away goes Central Districts down to half-forward. Braddy's trying to spoil away, and Kelly takes the mark.
He's got a much better quarter, Craig Kelly, although I guess he's had less to do. That's his 9th kick, a big one to centre half forward. Buckley for the spoil, but the man in front, 2 grabs, Warhurst. And good mark. Jamie Pike now being let alone by Bubner. Pike with a long kick, he centred that one, Hull's in front. The ball got to him, but there's a free kick for pushing the back in front of that player, and that will go to Mark Botka. It's a big lad. Short. Krieg goes around the man on the mark. Kicks long towards centre wing. Braddy's down from centre half forward, and that's a good mark. Flintoff drops into the open space, but Trigg wants it. Trigg's a tall man. He'll mark that ball. Bubner ran through to give him support. Trigg gets past Gallagher very easily. Trigg goes long. Cousins a chance now. Oh, it's gone over the top of both players. Flintoff if he's quick enough, but not quite. So scores level here at the park. 7-8 apiece. Well, we're into time on. A very good game of football indeed.
Craig Baum to bring it back into play. Just having a quick look. Players checking very hard now. Much more competitive. Norwood have had a great quarter. Man in front there, Mark Botka on Ricky Pearce. Come all the way down from full back. John Hall's gone for a rest. Hull's gone back on him. Cross to the centre. That's Peter Krieg, the one we used to know when he played centre. Some of that great marking. Goes in with a short kick. Scanlon gets in the road. He's tackled whilst not into possession. And he will take a free kick at centre half back.
Gee, the short kick wasn't on then. Cousins is the tall man down there, and that's where the aim should have been. Taylor got it over the back. Away he goes. Kicks it to the leading Aish. Puts it out in front of that player. Trevor Rose there with him, though. He kicked that one. No, the umpire said it wasn't on the full, so we'll see a throw in. Interestingly enough, Neil Barmer's prepared to let Michael Aish stay in that forward area. I think he considers that whilst Aish is on the ball, that Rose perhaps a bit too pacey for him running around the ground, and he thinks there might be more value for him up there in the pocket. Here's a chance. Payne onto the left boot. The ball swinging around. Rowe in front. The umpire is going to pay him a free kick against Michael Aish. Rowe will bring it to grandstand side. Botka and Pearce. Botka in front. Pearce thumps away. We'll have a throw in left half forward flank.
Scores locked away. Late in the second quarter. 7-8 apiece. Pearce doing a little bit of rucking now. O'Neill's still there. He's been there for the whole half. Off hands. Warhurst, he's bumped out of the road fairly heavily. He's okay though. Good body bump. Hannum just knocking it back through his legs. Girdham, free kick. Play on again now. O'Neill, short to half forward. Nolan high in there. He can't complete the mark. Now an opportunity for Van Dongel. Players with the sun in their eyes. He goes in towards the big fellow, Richard Cousins. From behind Fraser, I think that was a bit careless of Fraser. One in the air was enough. Thomas takes the relieving handball. Going through the centre of the ground to Pike. No, it's not. It's Anderson. Anderson to full forward. Aish is behind. Hall puts his hands up and just foils any attempt Aish had. I think if he'd let it go, Aish would have swallowed it. And William Hearn relieves for Central Districts with a short kick. When the long kick to the wing was on, Stephen Trigg had made perfect position for him, and he went for that little short nothing kick.
And Triggy wouldn't be happy about that because he was in a superb spot to receive. Pearce it was in front. Trigg got the handball out. Botka. The siren has gone to end a very competitive first half of football here at headquarters. Scores level. 7-8 as Neil Baum watches on. Scores level here at Football Park as we start the third quarter. Norwood against the Bulldogs. O'Neill, he's been in ruck all day. McIntosh went for that one with him. Scott Lee quiet in the second quarter. Brilliant first quarter. Hannum got the kick away. A good mark, or a gutsy attempt at mark by Gallagher. Trigg got it very well out towards Van Dommel. Van Dommel's left-hand handball to Flintoff was brilliant. Flintoff got it out quickly there to Scott Lee. A wobbly old kick forward, and it's cut off there by Craig Kelly. Kelly comes to the grandstand side of the ground. Bubner and Pike. Pike was quick to recover. Bubner didn't recover at all, but he does now. Ran over the top of the ball. Scott Lee fought hard for it, but in doing so he gave away a free kick. The umpire said play on. David Payne in trouble. He got it out to Hall low. Hall low trajectory. Hannum there, couldn't mark the ball. Buckley with pace. Got away there from Michael Taylor as easy as you like. Hearn now from Buckley. Goes very high to the open space. Running into that space out there was Brady. Kicking off the ground, Van Dommel. Peter Krieg, one of the Dogs' best players. Flintoff through centre half forward onto the left boot. A highly skilled player, Flintoff, and he's belted it through. That's his 15th kick, and a good start for the Dogs. Flintoff's first goal. Norwood 7-8, the Dogs 8-8.
Certainly was good play, and once again we see Central District rebounding from half back with a very nice kick over the top that found a bit of space, and then coming out, Peter Krieg again using that space in that area very well indeed. He got it across to David Flintoff. And Flintoff has been a very valuable player. He plays the centre of the ground like an old-time centreman, I suppose. He moves up and down that corridor with great effect.
Well, can they go on with it? The Dogs had a scintillating first quarter when they led 6-6 to 1-3, but Norwood got right back into it. Bit of a stalemate there in the centre, and umpire Kinnear will have to re-execute the bounce.
I think Michael Ace is playing at full forward, Peter, and out on the half-forward line, Botka's moved out there on his opponent, Pearce.
Yes, thank you, Robert. Neil Baum finding it very difficult to combat that row tag as Flintoff again gets the ball out. Scott Lee now runs through half-forward. Great pass, Cousins. Oh, Flintoff is killing them in the middle. Pretty close to the Dogs' best player, along with Peter Krieg. David Flintoff. Ex-Hawthorn, but a very highly skilled player. Cousins now kicked very well last Monday. That's floating off. But he's got it. Got his second goal, Richard Cousins. And what a good goal it was. The Dogs 9-8, Norwood 7-8.
That's a very good move. And once again, Flintoff, he's becoming very, very confident player in the centre of the ground for Central Districts. Very nice handball out wide then, giving Scott Lee the opportunity to run forward. Cousins coming out directly. The kick had to be spot on, and it was. And a very good kick again by Richard Cousins to score his second goal for the afternoon.
Well, a great start to the quarter by the Dogs. 2 goals in 3 minutes. Hall got the tap out of the centre then. Thomas Taylor, it was a quick kick away. Anderson nowhere to go, but he got out of it beautifully. Oh, fine kick too. Put it into the open space. Gallagher through half forward he runs. Warhurst now. Payne, I don't know that he really needed that. Oh, he went down, got up and got his kick. But he missed. Ooh. They're making errors, Norwood, but they just haven't really got a game plan going, have they, Robert? They're just stuttering around a lot.
They are. Their attack on the goal's not confident. I think there's one position we haven't seen Trevor Rowe play, isn't it, Peter? Full back. He's kicked out. Member stand side. David Flintoff. He's only half as tall as everybody else. He took it as though he had his name written all over it. He kicked the centre wing in the space. Scanlon getting back quickly. Just taps it towards the boundary line. I wonder what happened if umpires started paying those little taps out, Peter, when a player doesn't take it on a simple take. Certainly get the game mobile. Wouldn't be so many throw-ins. Poor old boundary umpire. Save his back aching so much. Ball tapped down. Van Dommel kicking off the ground forward. Opportunity for Brady. Turns back for some reason that no one knows. Oh, he wanted to kick it out of bounds in the full, obviously. And he's done just that. Up towards the forward pocket. Peter Johnson with the free kick.
Yes, Craig Brady didn't really have to go that way. Johnson will kick it down towards centre wing. O'Neill in there. Bubner over the top. Payne couldn't get boot to ball. Just got a slight push. Umpire Kinnear had a good look at it though and said that that did not warrant a free kick. The Dogs are 9-8, Norwood are 7-9. Umpire Kinnear will bounce it left half forward flank for the Dogs. The scoring end is certainly the northern end. The Dogs going that way this quarter. Payne fell over, got a kick away. Pearce ran over the top of it. Kelly kicked it out off a body, and umpire Kinnear has indicated he wants it thrown in.
He certainly kicked that ball very hard into the backside of Craig Brady. Pearce and Scott Lee, and Pearce just swung around ours right. He missed, fortunately, for Scott Lee. Now Pearce having another go at Lee. Don't know what's going on, what's upset him so much. McIntosh getting stuck into Scott Lee. Perhaps they reckon he's the player they need to upset a bit. He certainly played a very good game, Scott Lee. Can't say the same for Gary McIntosh or Ricky Pearce. O'Neill knocking it long forward. Scott Lee's been flattened again. It's not Scott Lee, it's Roger Girdham. Roger Girdham started off the game in great fashion from half back. Goes in short to Cousins. Not a good kick. Keith Thomas dropping into that space, not allowing that pass to come off. 15-metre penalty. He's at half back. Kick number 7. It's to centre wing. Bubner's back there, and he takes a well-judged mark.
He was always going to mark that ball. Now, Cousins is the only one they can aim at, apart from Brady. Brady at centre half forward. He won't mark the ball off hands. Trigg, he got the long handball out. Brilliantly done, Trigg. Nolan's got the ball at half forward, and that's a good kick at goal. He's got it. Well done, Stephen Trigg. Nolan's first goal. The Dogs booting away now. 10-8 to Norwood. 7-9 on Seven's big lead.
What a catastrophe it was for Central Districts early in the season when Stephen Trigg and Peter Bubner couldn't find their form. But now we see them in full flight. It's those little things when they make something happen. That particular play then by Stephen Trigg, he got his hands on a ball. He was in a bit of trouble. He had his back to the players he eventually handballed it to, but that was very well done.
Well, that breeze out there must be strong. Some of the flags are going to the north, but it's certainly the scoring end. Well done there. Scott Lee took it off O'Neill. Hellier went for the thump. Gallagher comes in, but it was Nolan who snared the ball. Flintoff runs through half forward. He's a brilliant player. Brady again goes against the run of play. Finally gets onto the left boot. Gee, it's not a bad kick, Brady. Oh, he's put it through. That's his 5th attempt and his hardest, and he kicked it. His 11th kick. The Dogs 11-8, Norwood 7-9.
Obviously, the important thing about Craig Brady is he doesn't know what he's doing when he gets the kick, because he just sent that one away. He's gone straight through the middle. Big Richard Cousins has blocked for him. But the Central District players, they're certainly working through that half-forward line. They seem to like kicking to that northern end of the ground. It doesn't seem to be favoured by any strong breeze. But both teams have scored a lot of goals that end.
Well, can the Dogs keep up this momentum? O'Neill, he didn't lay that back quickly enough, but Scott Lee got it. Flintoff again. How about that for a quick handball? Roger Girdham, the quick kick away up to half forward. Kelly will get back on it and take the strong mark in defence. Well, Flintoff has got something special about him. Taylor now kicks it up towards half forward, getting under the ball. Warhurst thumping away Hannam. Gee, Anderson appeared to throw that one away. The umpire said play on, so they do. It's Buckley who gets the kick away. Jamie Pike was pretty cool then. Puts it a long kick in towards Hine. The big chap gets there. Oh, he had mobility. And what a fine kick that was from Jamie Pike, right to the spot. And Neil Hine is perhaps, or has perhaps presented the Dogs with its biggest headache up forward, because he's so tall, and added to that he's got mobility. The 6th kick for Neil Hine. He was a bit light on that one, but he got his 3rd goal with it. Norwood 8-9, the Dogs 11-8.
Jamie Pike's certainly very deceptive. He looks as though he's doing it easily, all these movements. And I'm afraid that is just what he's doing. He's so well balanced that when he runs away, he's keeping himself under control, and his pace is terrific, because Peter Bubner wasn't making too many metres on him when he ran then. And the kick forward was excellent. And of course, we saw big Neil Hine, after 2 goals in the 2nd quarter, running out on a great lead and a good taken kick.
Hall and O'Neill. O'Neill's done a fine job. He got the tap away with that one. It goes through half forward again with O'Neill. Craig Kelly very strong. He's caught though. Girdham took it off him. The quick kick forward, cutting it off is Johnson, and he's done a pretty good job there on Fraser. The running player is Ace. He's back on the ball. Trevor Rowe obviously aware of it, because he was chasing him then, as Anderson kicks it up to half forward. Warhurst will mark that. No, he taps it on. Here's a chance, McIntosh, if he's got the pace to run away with it. He comes back to Gallagher. Gallagher shoots it out. Underground handball, Warhurst. He finally got boot to ball. Hine is there again. Thumping away is Botka. A chance, Payne. He got it back. Open goal, but he missed it. And he does have trouble with that kick on the run, Payne. 11-8 the Dogs, Norwood 8-10.
I think he has a bit of trouble with his strength and size. He can't quite get, hasn't got the strength to pull away. He's certainly got the pace. Lovely kick out. Krieg receiving as he runs through centre of the ground into the forward pocket. Murdoch's up there. He's done a great job in that back pocket since he's been there. Hellier, he's a bit slow motion today, I'm afraid. He's not quite up to his best form. Central with an opportunity. The handball goes forward. Nolan it is. He's already kicked one from the same spot. He's had slips on this one. That was a very loose kick. Great opportunity as they went through half forward for the Bulldogs. They're 11-9, Norwood are 8-10.
Craig Barham to kick out. Michael Aish on the ball again. Craig Barham is going to aim for that, or for Scanlon. Good mark. Hellier again gets caught. Had to throw the ball away. The umpire didn't see the throw. Back comes Van Dommel. Now Fraser. Smothered well by Scanlon. Craig Brady now. No, he played for that one. The umpire said not on. Ball pushed out now towards Hellier. Hellier short. Stolen there by Nolan. Puts it up high. Across comes Cousins. The running player there, Murdoch, got too much pace for Cousins as he runs away with the ball now. He's going all the way to centre wing. Puts it up high, but Hearn cuts across and marks in front of Payne.
What great work that was by Michael O'Neill just to force that kick. He took about the 10 metres off and enabled the mark to be taken. John Hall fisting away. Great take-off hands by Rowe. He's got the pace in the field play with Hayes. Fraser's up there, knocked away by Johnson. Fraser's a natural lefty. Comes back quickly. Supposed to be a sharpshooter. Scott Lee, top competitor. Oh, great goal, Scott Lee. Great goal, number 3. Central's 12-9, Norwood 8-10.
Oh, he's a good player, Scott Lee. Fraser got the ball around and he was really not in a position to do much about that. Scott Lee had the Norwood player and Aish coming at him, but it was very quick from hand to boot, and with his 12th kick, brought up his 3rd goal. And I tell you what, he's hurt Norwood a bit. There's a few Norwood players out there that have tried to have a go at him, but I don't think he's all too concerned about it. He just wants to play good football.
So Scott Lee, a tough little player, great competitor. He's upset Centrals, as Peter said, in many ways. Big Michael O'Neill, what a great competitor he's been for the Bulldogs. Trigg, handball forward, finds Gurnham. He's only got to kick it straight. He can't. Central's 12-10, Norwood 8-10.
There's a little bit of excitement about this Central District side. If they can snare a 5 or 6 goal break at 3/4 time, they should be able to bottle this game up. But there's still a long way to go. Off hands, it comes out to Pike. Again, that first couple of metres very quick. He got it to Anderson. Taylor runs through the centre of the ground, tries to set it up for Pearce. Pearce has marked it. Bodka fell over. Pearce didn't. The big chap marked it. And if he's kicking so far in this match is any indication, he'll put this straight through the centre. The umpire will not move. He's had 2 kicks and he's booted 2 goals. Very deliberate with his action. He sets it up, puts it through. Norwood 9-10, the Dogs 12-10.
So Rick Pearce then, very good stretch, but it was a great kick forward by the Redlegs as they move through the centre. Michael Taylor still got that bit of power in his leg. He miskicked the ball in the other quarter or so. He kicked a banana kick with his left foot that was very, very powerful. And on that occasion, his body motion plus his leg power as he banged that ball forward saw Pearce at full stretch. Botka just under the ball, couldn't keep his feet, and a good goal to Ricky Pearce.
O'Neill and Hall. O'Neill's done well. Hall got the tap. Gurdham pushes it away to centre wing, gives it to Buckley. Buckley kicks long. He's got penetration with that one, but Murdoch was in front. Didn't take the ball cleanly. Nolan now. He replaced Robertson. Chance for Fraser into the open space. Maybe too far out for Fraser, although he can kick the ball a long way. This will be his 6th kick. He also kicked pretty accurately, Fraser. Nice looking action. Oh, lovely goal. Robert Fraser just booted his 2nd. The Dogs 13-10, Norwood 9-10.
Well, it's goal for goal. Stephen Nolan is certainly a very active player up on that half-forward line. He's creating opportunities up there for them. But Fraser then coming out quickly. He had no hesitation in settling himself to kick that ball, and then he's punched it through very accurately. That's a long way to kick a straight ball. He did it very well. His aiming was excellent, and he's a danger player if he can keep his concentration on that footy.
Oh, the best quarter of football by far. It's certainly opened up. The whistle's gone again. The free kick this time will go to the Dogs. And O'Neill will kick it a long way. He loves to put a bit of power behind his kicking. Puts it out to the lead there of Brady. Brady's used a lot of power. pushed a player in the back, it wasn't seen. Murdoch was tackled. The umpire said he's got a push in the back. Brady and Kelly are having a crocodile go. There's players jumping in from everywhere. I tell you what, there was a couple of big punches thrown, but I don't think either of them collected. Fortunately, they're good footballers rather than good boxers. Otherwise, there'd be all sorts of problems out there. They would have made a couple of heavyweight freaks around Australia sit up and take notice. They really threw those then. But the free kick was in fact given initially to Taylor. Scanlon. He's at half-back. 10th kick, Scanlon gets around the player on the mark as though he wasn't there. Goes up to half-forward in front. Buckley, good mark. Judged it well.
David Buckley from half-back. Central holding up now. Seems to be the way the game is. Great leap then. John Hall. He was right off the ground. Great mobility by the big fellow. Scanlon now. He's on centre wing. High to the half-forward line. Warhurst in front. Cousins from behind having a run on the ball. O'Neill having a bit of a rest. Flintoff gets it across to Krieg. Krieg to half-forward with his right leg. Oh, great mark by Nolan. Just scooping his hands underneath the ball at the last second. Moves it on quickly. Hall's back there. Gallagher. Trigg. Trigg is going to get the free kick. That was a well-placed kick, actually. It gave Trigg every opportunity. Of course, he had the height. Gallagher was with him. The kick good enough to force the error. He gets a free kick as he's hit around the head. Number 9 kick for Stephen Trigg. In towards O'Neill. He's gone off for rest, but the big fellow's up there. And that's a good lead. A very nice mark. Of course, the kick had to be right. Stephen Trigg sitting it in the air for the big fellow, Michael O'Neill. Has he got the energy to kick the goal? He's banged it confidently right through the centre. First goal, Central 14-10, Norwood 9-10.
Gee, that's great value when you can get Richard Cousins onto the ball halfway through the third quarter, put a man that's fought tooth and nail all day down to full forward, and with such a strong lead and a very good kick to back it up with, to boot a goal, an important goal to put them 5 goals up.
Central Districts have kicked 7 goals too in just over 18 minutes. Third quarter. It's been great footy by them. Hine gets it forward. Bubner, here he goes. He's got the pace. He's got the kick. O'Neill wanted it long and high. Up it goes. The big fellow's there. He's finding himself doing more work now. He's gone off the ball. Tapped it back through his legs, or threw it through. Umpire said tap. Hellier just finds Kelly patiently waiting close to the ground. Umpire's going to give a 15-metre penalty. Doesn't want it. Hellier again, receiving it from Kelly. Oh, his kicks a wobbly one towards the boundary line. I think Michael Ace might have just saved the bacon. So on Seven's big league, Central 14-10, Norwood 9-10.
It's a very handy 5-goal lead, and although against this Norwood side, they've got the ability to score quickly, but there hasn't been a great deal out there today. Cousins with good body work. Anderson. Hannum is under the ball. He waited for the thundering herd, and he copped one high, and he's got a free kick. Brett Hannum's played a good game of football. Gee, they're running down the ground for him. This is his 6th kick. Girdham and Taylor out there. Taylor got a good bounce. I don't know who tackled him. I think it looked like the Norwood player that tackled him. Taking the ball away from him, though, was Craig Brady. Bangs it onto the left boot, straight over the top of the fullback and full forward, and we'll see a throw in the left forward pocket. Yes, I don't think there was a free kick there for Taylor. I wouldn't like to suggest that his own man had tackled him, but I think he just ran into him. O'Neill now to do the ruck work against Craig Baum. Hine there as well. Here's a chance for Van Dommel and also Scott Lee. He picked the ball up, tried to get it out. Players fighting for the ball on the ground, and we'll have another bounce at left half forward. It's pretty willing in there. Michael Ace has just had one of those days against the perennial tagger. There he is, 47, Trevor Rowe.
Rowe likes to get out in those open spaces. Likes to be out there with Michael Ace, because Ace, of course, can take you to the ball. He's such a great player. Hine. Snared by Van Dommel. O'Neill doing a bit of roving out in there. Tree coming in, or was it Tree? Off hands, Girdham. Behind. Central's 14-11, Norwood 9-10.
Gee, he's working hard, O'Neill. He really is working hard, and Trigg had the chance then. He had the ball. I noticed Cowboy Neil said on radio this morning that he thought his first grab was still just a fraction soft. Perhaps that's what he's talking about, but in most other aspects, Trigg playing well. Johnson couldn't mark it, pushing the back against Scanlon, but he got it over to Roger Murdoch. He saw Gallagher, but I don't know that he'll find him. He did. Gallagher got it. Through the centre of the ground he goes. He delayed the handball well. Pearce in front, but it goes straight over the top of him. Back goes Hull. Hull taps towards the line. Keith Thomas. Seems to be a bit out of form, Keith Thomas. And there'll be a throw in left half forward flank for Norwood.
And Keith Thomas doesn't seem to be moving with the same freedom and confidence that we've known him in former times. Why? Who knows? Cousins with his left hand. McIntosh is in there. He's had a quiet day. He's tagged. Hull has a leg held. Just thrown across almost. It was well done there with the left by the big fellow in Trigg. Central now in a motion forward, getting it to Rowe in the centre of the ground. Gee, some of their plays excellent. Nolan now into the goal square. It's a great kick. Is it straight? No. Just over the line for a behind. Central 14-12, Norwood 9-10, and Central's in very good form.
Are they ever? And they've got that confidence too that continues to build. It's got a momentum about it, that confidence. It's getting bigger and bigger as the game goes on. Got a bad attempt by Payne. The umpire's got the sun in his eyes and he says play on. He gives Payne a free kick. Nolan throws the little player back, and well, you'd be a brave man to bet against the Dogs at the moment. Cousins in front. Couldn't mark the ball, but he'll get a free kick for a slap in the face. He might play it on too. There was no one on the mark initially. Anderson is hurt. Cousins to centre half forward. Ace there, one hand. Off hands it comes. Fraser kicks it off the ground. Got a bit of height with that little chip. O'Neill comes out from full forward. Kelly very slow. Got it over to Craig Baum. Now Michael Aish. That's as far away from Rose as he's ever going to be. Jamie Pike got a push in the back. And it's unlike Bubner, but he gave that one away. Jamie Pike has done some useful things since quarter time. Bubner killed him early. Pike's 8th kick coming up. He kicks it to centre wing. I'll put my money on Cousins.
A little bit slow then, Richard Cousins. Just getting up slowly. He's got Scott Lee near the boundary line, but I don't think there's much value in that. Hines lurking. They're going across the ground trying to off-suit Hines, and it's working at the moment. I think they've got the pace up there, Peter. They're getting away with Blue Murder. Johnson hasn't got the pace to go with Fraser. Fraser coming in short. Good kick. Gurdon away he goes. He's only got to kick this straight too. They're in distance all the time. And Roger Gurdon has scored. Number 8 goal for the quarter. His first. 15-12 now, Central Districts. Norwood 9-10.
Oh, that was well done, Central District. They've got a lot of... they've got a game plan. That's what they've got. Norwood haven't got one. And the way that Fraser got the ball, I agree with Robert. They're offsetting Neil Hine. They're kicking away from him. And the way that Fraser delayed his kick then to Gurdon was brilliant stuff, and Gurdon finished off with a fine goal.
So Norwood a little bit of trouble across half-back. They're getting through that outer side a bit through Rowan Hellier. The Central side, they're attacking on that side of the ground. Their game plan certainly looks as though that's on. Great handball then by McIntosh. Got Norwood going. Here's Gallagher coming in. They need a steadier. And who better to kick it than the old fella himself? It's only his 5th kick. He's had a quiet day. It's his first goal. Norwood moved to 10-10, trailing Central Districts 15-12.
Well, they got it out at the centre. Neil Hine involved, and it came out to Philip Gallagher, and he was always going to boot that goal because all of the players had run out. They've got Hall and Pearce up there, but they'd moved out, and Gags just went over the top of them as easily as you like. So that was an important one. It keeps them within 5 goals, but Norwood has got a lot of work to do if they want to win this one.
Cousins just knocking it forward. Opportunity there for Rowe as he kicks it over the half-forward line. Johnson coming out. It's a bit more confidence from the back pocket player. Wild handball out wide. Scanlon picks it up. Kelly now with an opportunity. Players are not calm at all. Scott Lee has been very tired. Big O'Neill's back there on his own, but I think it's going to run all the way, and it has. So Centrals can do no wrong. Goal number 4 to Scott Lee. Goal number 16 to Central Districts. They're 16-12. Norwood 10-10.
Well, Scott Lee's just a bit too good for them today. He's an honest footballer. He works hard at his game, and on that occasion, he didn't fall for the two-card trick of putting it out in front of the leading players. He decided that all he had to do was to put it on a straight line and it would roll through, and he was dead right.
Richard Cousins is in there again, relieving Michael O'Neill. O'Neill's been good up at full forward. They've attacked confidently. That's a great knock by Cousins. Girdham. Oh, it's a short kick. But that's well read by Peter Krieg, because that kick was meant for over the top. There's no doubt about it. I think Roger Girdham was a little bit tired. Went to put his leg into it, kicked it a bit low to the ground, and couldn't find that bit of distance to the big fellow O'Neill leading. But O'Neill's found himself resting at full forward at about 100 mile an hour at the moment. Krieg. Not good. Peter Krieg, that's a careless kick. 16-13 Central Districts, Norwood 10-10.
Gee, they booted 9-5 this quarter, Central District, and generally when a side has a 10-goal quarter, they're not beaten. I tell you what, that's definitely out, that one. That nearly went out of the ground.
Remember that short pass he did the other year? He's gone to the other extreme.
There's no doubt about him. He's a man of extremes, Craig Baum. Oh, that's not a bad kick, right across to Cousins. And the way Richard Cousins is beating the ball today, this could be a 10-goal quarter for the Dogs. This will be his 5th kick, and he's really getting some power behind the ball, Richard Cousins, with his kicking, so I think I'd back him in for this. No, just offline. Distance, no worries. The Dogs 16-14 to Norwood 10-10 on Seven's big lead.
It's amazing what a little bit of tiredness does. Just takes that bit of power off the leg. It's been rucking this quarter, Cousins. Great kick out there to Anderson by Baum. Hellier running on. I know what Noel was trying to do. Hate to comment. Kick to the centre of the ground. Thomas. Gallagher making position. Not a great deal of value in that kick. Gallagher playing on, coming across the Scanlon, who's run up from half back. He's on centre wing. There's players running. Kelly coming through. He receives. Long to the square he'll go. No, he won't. He's gone short again. Pearce can't take the mark. He can't pick it up either. And it just goes over the line, just ahead of Mark Botka. So Norwood not confident to go into that full forward area. Big John Hall was back there then. He had an opportunity, one out.
Very important couple of minutes for the Dogs. They'd like to go in at least 6 up at the break. Flintoff. Pike. Taylor. Kicks into the pocket. Pearce will mark it. Yes, he will. Had the sun in his eyes, but it was a good effort. Now, is he good enough to kick the goal? He wants to pass off. He'll have to play on in a minute. He goes back to Taylor. Taylor was left unattended, and I don't think he can kick that. Taylor wants to pass off too. They all want to pass off. No one wants to attack the goal. Michael Ace leads, but here's a go. Thomas, it's the one he wanted. It was very late from Thomas, and well, one could never doubt his timing. It's as good as Jack Penny's. Can he kick the goal though? This is only his 9th kick. He dragged it across. I'll tell you what, it was close, but it probably skidded over the top of the post. So Norwood are 10-11, the Dogs are 16-14.
Can't believe that Michael Taylor didn't have a go at that goal. The line was exactly the same that he gave Keith Thomas. It's a great kick, Taylor. That's not a bad kick in either. As Hull lets one go, she's really covered some ground. Trigg. Up she goes. If there's any rain up there, he'll find it. Hellier. He certainly is out of touch, Rowan Hellier. He can't take the ball. That was a good fly. He read everything right, but his ball touch a little off. The Centrals have kicked 9 goals this quarter. 9-6, in fact. They've played very well indeed. Cousins in front. Since he's got on the ball, he's really given them something. Coach Neil has kept him up at full forward for as long as he possibly could, or as long as he could for the afternoon. Then he let O'Neill go back there. Of course, O'Neill's done nothing but work since he's gone to full forward. They've been into attack incessantly.
They'd love another goal. It's on the outer side, half-forward line for the Dogs. Aish fell over and he'll get a free kick. It's the name of the game. Aish's 5th kick only. He's been well tagged by Trevor Rowe. Warhurst in front, good mark. He's had a pretty hard day against Brett Hannum. 15 metres, the whistle went, but the play on is called. Pearce on the second grab, couldn't handle it. Scott Lee pushed it away. Pearce in again. Nearly went over the top of Scanlon, but he kicked it back. Buckley trying to get under the ball. Trapped it well on the second attempt. Got rid of it quickly. Anderson, though, he could run that through from there. He's a very good kick, Anderson. He's a great kick at goal, in fact. His 13th kick brought up his second goal, in fact. Norwood 11-11. That was a vital one. The Dogs 16-14.
It certainly was a vital one. The Central District players preferring to knock that ball back in towards the centre of the ground in preference to the boundary line. Anderson getting the opportunity to come around the outside. And he steadied it up and had a good look at the goal and then just pulled it in quietly. So Norwood moving to 11 goals 11. They were 7-8 at half time, so they've kicked 4 goals 3. Not a bad quarter, but they're struggling to do it. Central District's leading 16-15 to Norwood 11-11. Start of the last quarter. Centrals have had a great first and third, Norwood a great second. And it's the northern end that the teams have scored to. Gallagher coming in quickly. He's bumped off the ball. Bubner now with an opportunity. He's tackled, but he's certainly firing into the start of the quarter. Great block by Aish. Payne gets it across towards Thomas. Thomas has Taylor coming up from the half-back line. Norwood not getting anywhere. McIntosh, now they've got a chance. Back to centre-half forward. And making position there is Jamie Pike. Hasn't had a lot of touches, Jamie Pike, but the 9 he's had have been pretty good. His 9th kick high into the full forward area. Off hands. Hull drops it, kicks it. Drop kicks it. I don't know, something like that. Anyhow, it's a bounce down in front of the goal. Been a very, very good game. Centrals have played probably the best football, but Norwood have refused to give up. Hine just tapping it down. Opportunity for Buckley. He taps it towards the boundary line and out of bounds. Central 16-15, Norwood 11-11 on Sevens big lead.
Buckley's been a useful player. There is Neil Hine, one of Norwood's better players. He's booted 3 goals. He's done some useful work in ruck. But the man against him, O'Neill, has been the best big man on the ground. Trevor Rowe, the Michael Aish glove, gave it across to Hearn. Hearn's kick to the outer side of the ground sees Van Dommel go up high, but it's Hall doing the roving trick. And he gets it back to Scanlon. Scanlon goes in as long as he can to half forward. Aish up from behind. 2 Norwood players up. The handball comes out to Buckley. And the kick is good to Flintoff. Flintoff has had easily the best of that centre duel. Van Dommel is caught, but he got the handball back. Flintoff again. Bruce Winter on the ground now. Johnson may be off. Kelly is caught. He's holding the ball. The big chap Brady's got it, puts in a high ball towards Cousins. Barmer's there fighting hard. It goes over the top. Nolan, a run-in goal. He's got it. 2 goals, Nolan, from his 7th kick. The Dogs have got first blood in this last quarter, and there are a few people leaving the grandstand here. I think they're Norwood supporters. The Dogs are 17-15, Norwood 11-11.
Well, Stephen Nolan's come onto the ground. He's had a few opportunities. He's run into an open goal. And he just made his 35 metres then with great skill and tenacity. He didn't bother to bounce the ball on the way in. I thought the umpire was going to blow him up, but Central District certainly playing very confidently.
How important was that to get the first goal in the last quarter? Now Norwood must kick at least 7 to win it. That's provided, of course, the Dogs don't kick any more. Now that is a very, very big ask for any team in any conditions. And there are a few Norwood players out there that are pretty tired. John Hall's one of them. He's not even on his feet yet. I think he may have copped one low in that exchange. Taylor nowhere to go, and the umpire Kinnear will execute a rebound. 6 goals 4 is the deficit that Norwood faces. So the Dogs were on the bottom 2 weeks ago, or 2 games ago. Flintoff over the top on the bottom 2 games ago, and they find themselves knocking right on the door of the 5. Jarvis onto the ground, a very, very high ball. Hannum's under it and takes the mark, plays it on. Here is a great little player for the Dogs, Scott Lee. And Trigg, I'll tell you what, they've all contributed. Trigg was really playing on then, but the umpire let him go back. The run is on. Nolan's a good, powerful player too. He's got some pace. Got his chance when Robertson was injured in the first or the second quarter. Cousins, Trigg, Krieg with the run. Cousins belts it back. Flintoff, he's clever. Gets the handball out, but the man that stopped the handball was very clever too in Keith Thomas, and there'll be a bounce at centre-half forward. Richard
Cousins looking a bit better then. Held his ground after the flying for that ball. Gave him the right to recover. almost made an opportunity. David Flintoff not able to quite finish it off. Hine knocks it. It's a bad knock. Thank you very much, says David Flintoff. Well read, a good take. Kicks his second goal from his 20th kick. Very good game he's played. So Central move to 18-15 now. Norwood 11-11.
Well, they call him Magic. I think that's what they call him. Yes, it is. They call him Magic out at the Elizabeth Oval, and you can see why. What you just saw looks pretty simple, but in fact it's not that simple, because number one, he had to read the ball to get it, and having got it, he had to execute the right kick for the goal, and everything about it was perfect. He's a top little player. 18-15 the Dogs, Norwood 11-11.
Michael O'Neill in the ruck. He had a bit of a rest in the latter part of the third quarter, but Hines too good in knocking it forward. Thomas, no pain it is, fighting hard to get mobile. They can't get it away. William Hearns in there, diving on top, saving for the Bulldogs. Hine, he's been a very mobile player. He's looked good, but the Central District's ruckmen have done a good job on him. Michael O'Neill's been equal to the task. O'Neill just helping the hand of Hine there. Player tackled and thrown out of the road is Justin Scanlon. Renee Van Dommel making an error. Taylor over the top to Gallagher. Gallagher's got the full goal ahead of him. He goes to half forward to Jamie Pike. Pike may be too far out of goal. He's going in with a confident pass by. Gee, that is a good kick. Powerful and strong and direct. Tom Warhurst it was on the straight lead. Can't afford to have even the slightest margin for error on that kick. Otherwise it'll skid past. So that is a great kick from Jamie Pike. Warhurst, kick number 9. Just floating in. No real power in it. Can't quite get it straight. Norwood score another point. They're 11-12. Trailing Central Districts 18-15.
45 points the deficit. Hull cut off by Michael Taylor. He really has to kick a goal because there are only Central District players down there, and what a great kick it was. Oh, that could be a team lifter. With his 13th kick, Michael Taylor has booted his second goal, and that could be a team lifter. Norwood at 12-12, the Dogs 18-15.
Well, Michael Taylor certainly keeps working. Last quarter we saw him have a kick from the half-forward line. He chose to pass off to Keith Thomas when he was on a fair angle. But that just gives you some idea of what a great kick he is. He just punched that through the centre. That's a great goal for the Redlegs. And it gives them some sort of a chance to get back into it. They need another 7.
7 indeed. That's a big, it's a big contract. Hine got the tap down. Thomas to Aish. Here's a bit of run with some familiar names by Norwood. Hannum punches away with the left hand. Buckley goes through. He has played well. There is Rowe out there, but trying to cut it off was Thomas. Rowe, ball is off. Thomas got it out. A chance now for Fraser as he runs through half forward with the left boot. Brady comes across. Cousins also. It comes over the top. A chance for Jarvis as he tries to run it clear, and he takes it over the line, and we'll see a throw in the right forward pocket. It's very good work by Trevor Rowe out there against Thomas. He finally got the ball out and set up the run. 123-84. Cousins, Flintoff again. That kick is fading off, and the umpire indicates a point. 18-16 the Dogs, Norwood 12-12.
Ricky Pearce is back on the ground to take over from John Hall. Norwood playing Peter Johnson at full forward. Ricky Pearce in the pocket. Craig Baum to bring it in. Goes to the outer side. Hine in front, O'Neill from behind. The big fellow O'Neill putting his body in, his strong body, but Hine's good enough to spoil it away. Murdoch looking for some space on the wing. He's found that, but Trigg gets there first. He goes back short to O'Neill. They're wide out on the flank. Flintoff leading. McIntosh after off. Flintoff well read. That's beautiful reading of the football. He just sucked McIntosh in, then he's kicked a little back screwy, but hit the post, if you don't mind. That would have been a magnificent goal. Central District 18-17, Norwood 12-12.
Well, he was a player that they got to cover the loss of Platten. Okay, he's a different sort of a player, but the way he's going, he's going to be very valuable by the time the season's out. Jamie Pike kicks back to centre wing. Buckley is there, and again, very competitive. Krieg threw the ball out. Picking it up out there for Norwood is Anderson. Goes in the complete circle. Kelly now at centre half, or Taylor it is in fact, finding it difficult to get the ball out, so umpire Kinnear will bounce it. Michael Taylor was only in the back pocket for the first quarter. He went to half forward at the beginning of the second, kicked a fine goal, booted another one just a little while ago to give him 2 goals. Players all around the ball, and umpire Kinnear will bounce it. Approaching 10 minutes, Norwood 12-12, the Dogs 18-17 on Norwood's, in fact on Seven's big lead.
Norwood are like to be their league, but it hasn't been their league game today. The Centrals have been far too good for them. Pike into the full forward area. Botka from behind, just fisting it away from Johnson and out of bounds. So Central Districts being led, of course, by a great game in the centre of the ground by David Flintoff. He's worked up and down the middle. He's been a great link man for them. Some of his football has been excellent. And of course, other players have joined in. They've had a winning centre line. Trigg and Bubner have had their moments of great footy across the centre. So Central Districts looking very good. Free kick to Michael O'Neill. Interference to him in the back pocket. So what Central have lost in far as John Platten is concerned, there's no doubt the little fella they put in the middle to replace him, he's certainly got a lot of finesse and touch in his footy, as well as a bit of hard work gritted in with it. The kick to the outer side. Players high there. Hine can't take it. Reading it well offhand is Flintoff, would you believe? Offhands again, Murdoch can't take it. No, it's Winter. Bruce Winter it is. Gets a free kick. Familiar job back there, taking that mark. That's what he's good at. Reads that ball coming in loosely very well indeed. Winter to half forward, very high in there. Bubner setting himself. When he sets himself like that, the power on those legs, he just up he goes. Doesn't need any assistance whatsoever.
No, he's a fine athlete, Peter Bubner. He really is. Kicks to the outer side of the ground with kick number 11. Brady gets back on it, judged it well. The ball dropped into his hands, but he couldn't take the mark. Kelly. A high ball. Taylor, Girdham. Girdham, the spoil missed, and Taylor took the mark. Play on calls the umpire. Taylor puts it out towards Keith Thomas, but the man again there, Buckley. What a fine game he has played. 11th kick now coming up for David Buckley. One of the best games I've seen him play. Bruce Winter behind again for the mark. Krieg pirouettes. Bloody handball. And Murdoch picked it up, puts it out towards centre wing. Bubner again, the man with the highest leap by a mile, just took his 9th mark. Krieg now at centre wing, he has to play on. He had the momentum. Cousins on the lead, the big chap in front takes the mark. Craig Barham's spoil was a bit late and slightly inaccurate. Cousins has got it now at centre half forward. We have mentioned that the big chap is kicking the ball with a lot of power. The Dogs haven't booted many goals this end. In fact, they didn't, well, they only booted one there in the second quarter. That's Cousins' 6th kick. It's just offline. A point. The Dogs 18, Norwood 12-12, and that makes the difference, Robert, 7 goals.
Player coming off for Central Districts. I missed you out. It looked like Schwert coming on to me. Kick to the outer side. Scott Lee. He must get tired sooner or later. He's had a great game. In towards Flintoff. Oh, Flintoff's kicked right in the stomach by Kelly. Gallagher. Hine. Scanlon. Scanlon to half forward. Buckley coming across, but the kick's too good. Finds Warhurst. A well-judged kick. David Flintoff's in a little bit of trouble at half back. Umpire must have been unsighted surely on that particular play. Ricky Pearce made good position, then dropped the mark. Hull, if you want to have an advertisement for smoking, Peter, we're getting it all up here. Someone in the crowd's getting a bit excited. Just about killing us. Ball hit forward to the wing. Hine. Jarvis. Norwood back to half forward.
Hannum under that ball, but a big leap by Jamie Pike. Not effective. Pushing the back against that player. And another Central District free kick to go to Buckley. A fine player. I don't think that they've had a passenger, the Dogs, today. Buckley wobbles one out of defence. Brady low to the ground, couldn't mark the ball. Comes out the back door though as Taylor goes through, close to holding the ball as Hine gets the handball out to Jarvis. Jarvis with a long one. Underneath the ball, though, Cousins couldn't mark it. Ace goes over the top. They're trying to shovel the ball out, but they finally do it. Hull. It's a free kick back there to the Central District side. Schwert it is, who just came onto the ground. A big leap by Hine. He couldn't complete the mark. The handball from Krieg. Shoveled out by Girdham. Taylor back to McIntosh. Doesn't appear to have much run, McIntosh. He looks to be still troubled by that ankle. Cousins in the pack. The umpire is going to pay him. Big Richard Cousins has played a fine game. He'll come to grandstand side. Mark Hull. Hull stops. Goes back, steadies. Looks for Flintoff. He's recovered from that kick to the solar plexus. Now Nolan, but the umpire has found a free kick. It will go to Scott Lee. A very good player for the Dogs.
Well, he's won the ball. Norwood seemed to be after him. He's obviously upset them. He's a very rugged little player, David Flintoff. He's got beautiful ball reading ability. 25 kicks coming up. Just quietly glides into half forward. Player from behind, Bubner, looks as though he's up in that full forward area, Peter. Bubner around, kicking back. He had Brady back there on his own. He's still there. Opportunity for Krieg. Just got to control the kick, which he does. Straight through the centre of the goal. His first goal for the afternoon. Central District's 19-8 hit the post. I've just changed my mind very quickly. Minor score. 18-19 to Centrals, 12-12 to Norwood.
Oh, they're playing very well, the Dogs. They are really too good. Norwood, there's no way known. I don't think they can win this game. Schwert in front of Pike. Pike gets front spot back, though. Taps it out, but it only goes as far as Krieg. Fraser wants it and will get it. Fraser is marked there by Scanlon. Robert Fraser's had an up-and-down game. He's booted 2 goals. He's made a few errors, but that's his 11th kick. Who's he aiming that for? Take your pick. There's 4 of them there. Richard Cousins is at centre-half forward, but he may be too far out. Bubner is at full forward. That's the aim. If it falls short, that is. It's the way Cousins is kicking. He'll look for something short there. It's on now. Brady on the lead. Good mark, good lead. And more importantly, a good kick. I don't think Brady's really hurt too much. Probably just having a rest. No, he may have copped one in the back of the head, but I bet you he has the kick. It's been an up and down game too from Brady. His first quarter, he kicked 4 points. Kicked a great goal in the 3rd quarter. This will be his 14th kick. But you've got to admire the way the man competes. He can pick up 14 kicks at centre-half forward and have 6 or 7 shots for goal. You're a pretty good player. Very deliberate with the kick. This will bury Norwood if he kicks it. He's kicked it. 2 goals, Brady. Norwood are dead and buried now. The Dogs 19-19. The Redlegs 12-12 on Seven's big lead.
That was a great pass forward by Richard Cousins. Found Craig Brady on the lead, and Brady at full stretch took the mark. But Kevin Neal has certainly used his ruckman well this afternoon. He let big Michael O'Neill run himself into the ground pretty well before he brought Richard Cousins onto the ball. Then when Richard came on, he was full of run, and he's the man doing the job now.
They've played against each other 51 times. Central has won 22, Norwood 29. At Football Park, there have been 8 encounters. The Dogs have only won 1 of those, so this should be the second for them. Well, Fraser is finessing, so is Flintoff. Perhaps they could be forgiven. Fraser back to Krieg. Krieg's got Brady. Brady against Winter. Brady again concedes ground. He's done a fair bit of that today. Fraser, the underground handball. It comes out to Girdham. Michael Taylor couldn't pick it up. Girdham gets it back. Here's a chance now, the Dogs. Schwert, short, but McIntosh cuts him off and takes the mark. Banker's had a tough afternoon. What about that ankle, Robert? His running action doesn't look to be free, does it?
No, it certainly does, although he tends to push himself along at the best of times. Flintoff's certainly been very good. See, that kick's pretty good, Peter. That's covered 50 metres, and he's supposed to be tired, so it can't be too bad under some sort of pressure. Warhurst across the outside of Thomas to Pike. Pike now just gently kicking the ball to Ace. But I think Rowe's pace is what beats Michael Ace. Of course, it beats most people, I might add. You're on a man who's a sprint runner. You have to be pretty good to beat them, and if he gives himself the opportunity to get a bit of a run at you, then the chances are he'll beat you on most occasions. He's had about 6 kicks this afternoon, but he's done a great job, Trevor Rowe. Back to half-back. Michael Ace only had 6 kicks, should I say. Rowe's had a few more. Hine to full forward. Ace in front. Almost got pushed in the back then. Almost not good enough. Hannam. And away goes Central Districts out towards centre wing.
Nolan backing it up out there is Botka. Jarvis has got the run of it. Back to Gallagher. Gallagher mishandled initially, but he got it back to Jarvis. But they're flat-footed, Norwood. McIntosh now. Roger Murdoch had the choice of a couple of players, but he's put it back towards Hine. Anderson waits down. Hull. A high handball out to Trevor Rowe. A very pacey player as Jamie Pike gets rid of his opponent. Girdham puts it into the centre of the ground to Fraser. I'll tell you what, they've run amok, the Dogs. They really have. Bubner wants it. He's on a long lead. He comes in now. He may have got a push, but it goes over the top. Van Dommel against big Neil Hine, but he puts it out on the full. So it'll be a Norwood free kick.
If I think if you realise the big fellow was after you, then I think Van Dommel could have put a back prop in and done a bit of a run around, see if he could have set up the play a bit. Murdoch kicking it wide. Kelly is out there. He kicks it to Krieg, who fell over. He couldn't believe it was coming towards him. Brady offhand. Bubner with an opportunity. He's got the pace. Straightens up. Props. Again kicks it sideways. Another point to Centrals. 19-20. Norwood 12-12.
I think Van Dommel wanted that ball. He was on his own. Craig Baum now at full-back. Comes out to the running McIntosh. The pacey McIntosh. 3 grabs. Took the mark. Tell you what, there was plenty of pace on him then. Botka, he stopped him, forced him to kick it out on the full. And Botka has played a fine game. In fact, I can't find one Dog player that hasn't played well. Hearn, Murdoch. Murdoch now, very undecided about what to do. Looks for Warhurst. He goes for the big push. Johnson, tackle by Botka. Johnson taps it away. Richard Cousins, Hearn and Hannam. Warhurst again, pirouettes a couple of times. Gallagher tries to give Pearce the chance over the top. Pearce is a strong man and he's taken the mark. Well, Gallagher gave him every chance to mark that ball. Put it in the right spot for him, and big Ricky Pearce has taken the mark. He's had 3 kicks for his 3 goals. In fact, he's had 4 kicks for his 3 goals, but one would imagine that he wouldn't miss this. No doubt about him. He's dead-eye Dick. He's a bit like Grenville Dittrich on the kick. He doesn't miss many. 4 goals, Pearce. 19-20 the Dogs. Norwood 12-12.
The game just fading out to a slow end. Central had 39 shots to 25 by Norwood. I think that's indicative of the way they've played for 3/4 of the game. They had a pretty unstable second quarter. They couldn't get themselves balanced at all, but for the rest of the game, their handball has been very, very slick, and their kicking to position very good.
Coach Baum there, realising that all is lost here in this game. It comes back to Schwert. Schwert with the left boot. Bubner's got pace. He's got more than pace. Got a touch of transgression about him when he's put the hand in the back of Baum. Baum to Winter. To Gallagher. Gallagher will probably go short. Yes, he does. To Jarvis. Jarvis is caught. He's holding the ball. That was a good tackle by Scott Lee, but very soft turn there by Jarvis. He was playing almost his own Norwood with 10 in front then, but of course they're not. In fact, they trailed by 44 points. Cousins, a top performance. Short to Flintoff, best man on the ground. Flintoff has been a star. Krieg leads. Girdham and Taylor. Taylor will be outpaced. Girdham, a little chip away. I'm not quite sure to whom. He may have been waiting for a spurt from Bubner, but it wasn't there.
What a pretty good spurt.
Winter short. Murdoch to Taylor. Taylor goes up towards centre half forward. The punch away comes from Buckley to Payne. Payne goes long. Can Pearce do it again? The big chap couldn't take the mark, but off hands it's Johnson. He curls one around over the shoulder and puts it through for his first goal. A belated one to the Redlegs. 14-12 now to the Dogs, 19-20.
Well, there's 5 goals, 8 the difference. I suppose in 6 minutes or so, if you kick 7 goals, you've got a bit of a chance to win. I don't think Norwood are that good today. They certainly may have been in past times, but their movement of the ball today doesn't warrant that sort of an indication or that sort of an end to this game. And it wouldn't be fitting now to see Central District just let this game go away from themselves. They lost that goal because of some very careless play up forward.
184 people here today as Flintoff again takes it away from the middle. Oh, good mark there by Bruce Winter. Neil Hine comes across to the grandstand wing area. So does McIntosh. He picks it up. Hine does the work on Cousins. Macca goes for a bounce. And kicks it to Anderson. Anderson, a long direct kick towards Pearce. Hull is behind that player and gets the ball back with a good bounce. He's got a loose player on the outer side of the ground in Van Dommel, but he came to the wrong side and gave it to Hine.
Unbelievable he should do that. Central being a little bit careless when they can really sew up a game and make it absolutely safe. They've played 2 very, very loose kicks. Kick to the half-forward line. Hearn just handballs it away wildly. Hull coming in quickly again. Now an opportunity for Trevor Rowe to come through. He gives it to Trigg. Through the middle of the ground go the Bulldogs. Nolan. He's only got to kick it straight, I'd say. He's well within his distance. It's a goal. Central have scored 20. They're 20 goals, 20 with the 3rd goal there to Stephen Nolan. Norwood 14-12.
Well, it's good to see these players coming back into it. Players like Hannum and Nolan, Trigg, Robertson off the ground, of course, but Peter Krieg as well. They're good players and they shouldn't be down for too long, and they're coming back now. And the Dog fans love it. And Nolan is a very strong, direct, quick player, and his performance has been exemplary today. Of course, he hasn't played the whole game.
Richard Cousins against Neil Hine. Nice bounce of the ball. Good take by Keith Thomas. He's caught. Central's player coming through there. Hearn couldn't take it, but he taps it forward. Scanlon to Jarvis. Across to Pike. Now Pike with an opportunity to go directly at the goal. It's a nice controlled kick into Johnson too. Well put, well taken. Peter Johnson, 50 metres out, straight in front. Needs a good kick, goes for Ricky Pearce. That's that straight kick, lead, kick to a straight lead. Very, very difficult. Botka gives it to Nolan. Very difficult to find a player on a straight lead. Now Stephen Trigg on centre wing. Central's a 20-20, Norwood 14-12. Kick up to the half-forward line. It was Krieg pushed out of the road. Big Neil Hine goes to Gallagher.
Gallagher plays it on. Keith Thomas is running through half-forward now. A direct handball there to Anderson. Anderson's at right half-forward, and it's a fine kick at goal by Richard Anderson. And he comes up with his 3rd goal. Not a bad performance. Norwood 15-12, the Dogs 20 goals 20.
Yes, that was a good play, and that's the way that's what we're used to seeing Keith Thomas do. Get into that centre of the ground, receive the ball as it comes across, then weave his way through the half-forward line and create havoc with the opposition. But this afternoon, it's been few and far between those little flurries of activity across half-forward, and Norwood, of course, have been just that little bit behind all day because of it.
A 38-point lead to the Dogs as Richard Cousins takes on Neil Hine. Flintoff again, got a kick away of sorts. Stolen well there by Scanlon. Up to half-forward, Norwood go again. No player can mark the ball. Richard Hull's got it between his legs. Bunga Hearn now puts it out to Buckley, Trigg, Botka and Girdham, and the Dogs run out of half back again. Beautiful. I was going to say a beautiful kick, but it went straight over the top of Krieg. The play on now towards Taylor. And there's the pace of Rowe again. Taps it back to Girdham. Girdham will get a free kick for being held on to as Michael Aish picked up the ball. And Michael Aish has just had one of those days where the tag was applied and he just couldn't do much about it. Girdham to Cousins. Cousins goes for a bounce. I tell you what, they're brimful of confidence, and he uses the left boot. That's his 10th. Fraser on the outer side there, couldn't mark it. Winter, Pike, Anderson's the runner. Cousins won't let him go. Anderson shoots in short. Pearce can't mark the ball. Warhurst picks it up. Back to Pearce. Could he kick his 5th? In fact, he can. Pearce has got 5, so he hasn't really let them down up there. 16-12 Norwood. The Dogs 20 goals 20.
This is exactly what happened in the second quarter to Central Districts. After a great first quarter in which they kicked 6 goals 6 to 1 goal 3, in the second quarter they fell right out of the game. Norwood not apparently playing with any real vim or vigour, just getting hold of the ball and running up the ground now and then. And as a result, in the second quarter, Norwood ended up kicking 6 goals 5 to 1-2. And Centrals, they just seem to go to sleep, and they're doing it again.
The Dogs have booted 4 this quarter. Norwood have booted 5. Hine got the tap down. Payne and Hearn, but Peter Krieg, a good player for the Dogs, slipped over, tried to shuffle it back. Richard Cousins fights hard in there. So does Jamie Pike. Cousins smothers the kick. McIntosh slipped before acceptances. Comes out the back door now. Kick away by the Dogs up to half forward. Fraser couldn't mark it. Kelly with the handball to Scanlon, back to Jarvis. Jarvis with a high kick to the outer flank. Cousins behind, big chap couldn't quite mark it. Picking up now McIntosh. Oh dear, oh dear. He ran the wrong way then, Macca. Hannum had him cold, but the siren's gone. It's all over here at headquarters with the Dogs in a fine victory. 20 goals 20 to Norwood 16-12.